happiest and happiest of birthdays right now. Whose birthday is it? It is the Great Ace Attorney's birthday. Today's stream is being broadcast right now. Today's episode is on Wednesday, July 9th. I decided to shift from my usual streaming days and do this session on the Wednesday. It falls with the date of July 9th, 2025, which is 10 years to the day that Great Ace Attorney was first released as Dai Gakuten Saiban in Japan. It came out on July the 9th, 2015, with the second game coming out in 2017, Dai Gakuten Saiban 2, and then later down the line in 2021, those of us outside of Japan finally got the full release of both the games, fully localized into English as part of this, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles collection, both the games, and yeah, it let everybody in, most everybody in the world to enjoy this lovely thing here, available on many platforms as well. And yeah, it just seemed prudent to do this up here. I've become incredibly normal about this series in the past, like, I'd say year or so a bit here, but yeah, only recently in the past couple of months I've been doing this whole playthrough as part of my Great Ace Attorney, a full Ace Attorney chronology playthrough where I'm going to go through the entire series in-game timeline order. I've been incredibly normal about this series. I've been able to go to the collab events at the cafe, the Capcom cafes. They are doing an event currently right now, as of this date, for the 10th anniversary of Dai Gakuten Saiban. I've been getting my character art coasters, for getting like the special drinks and such. It's been very, very lovely. I got all of them, and special postcards too. Forgot to show myself here. I got a copy of them. Got a special postcard copy of Eugen in the special artwork, and of course on my first visit I got Iris as well. Lots of cute artworks and lots of souvenirs and lots of fun and frolics with the series. And yeah, for the 10th birthday, let's just play some more of it today, and maybe people in the chat right now can reminisce about their experiences with this, like whatever they have to say. Please feel free to do so, to share your good memories with this game in the Twitch stream right now. If you're in YouTube land doing this as well, hello to you. You can do the same after you have wrapped up with watching here, or if you'd like to make a comment during the video, you're more than free to do so. Don't forget to leave your comments down below if you are enjoying the series and this video in particular. If you'd like to also subscribe and hit the bell to see more of this series coming up in the future, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated as well. And with all of that said, finally, get into it. We are going to get back into our run of GAA 2, Greater City 2, where we are partway through part 2 of the investigation. And we're about to have another rummage in Madame Tuspel's waxworks here. Were we about to meet up with Sholmes again? Ah, well, we're about to find out. But yeah, let's try and remember what happened last time. It was a whole lot of investigating. Actually, firstly, we had an old friend come back. We had Suzaru come back from her exploits back in Japanland, and she's now back by our side and helping us with the trials and investigating. We've had another rummage around most of the places with Suzaru in tow to try and gather more evidence for a second day of trial coming up here. During which time, we have had our suspicions about a certain mysterious apprentice of Mr. Van Zeek's. And it seems 99% confirmed, though we are going to let the game do it for us and say nothing about it yet. It seems 99% confirmed that we actually know who this apprentice is. We have been in their presence before, and that's going to be a humdinger when that eventually drops. But for now, we're going to continue our investigation as we get back into the Tuspel's waxworks on the 23rd of October. Let's go!
Oh my! No wonder it's called the House of Horrors. I'd like to turn on my heels and go straight home, via the confectionery.
Oh, being scared makes you crave sweets. Huh, I can understand that. Behaving exactly like a 6-year-old would. I am sympathetic, Suzaru. I absolutely understand.
I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months away, but there's no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere.
Oh yeah, about Mr. Sholmes. there's a rather important thing that we need to have a word with him about when we do eventually find him, but we'll wait until that happens. That's strange. You should be here investigating the abduction of the waxwork. Oh, well, I suppose we'll just come back again later. Oh, really now? Like, they're not here? Like, if they're not, then my goodness, they're not! Maybe we did need to go somewhere else first, but I think we'll let Susanoo have a look around at everyone here. Be like,
Oh, what a horrifying scene! A murderer caught in the grisly act!
I know. And in case you were wondering, it's the one with the big knife that's supposed to be the killer.
I don't think anybody would be in any doubt about that, surely.
And did you know that according to the description, the bathtub at the back had no particular significance?
What? Really? I would have thought it was meant to show that the killer also worked in the bathhouse, peddling criminal wares.
Aha! We have a new theory! A game theory, you say? Yeah, this is apparently, what did they call her? Jade the Ripper or something like that? Totally not Jack the Ripper, but the other way around. But yeah, that's one particular idea of the scene. I think it was all there. There was the curtain, which supposedly holds the grand exhibit of this grand serial offender. Ah, yes, the heavy curtains in the middle of the House of Horrors. Whatever's on the other side of them, you just know it's going to be terrifying, don't you?
The sign says it's the Madame Tussauds special exhibit. It seems you have to pay extra to go inside.
I know! Can you believe that? Pay more money? As if we haven't been scared enough already?
It's not my doing, Miss Naruhodo.
It's not your fault. I don't work here. Like, I don't know what you want from me. There's another waxwork over there. That old policeman isn't here now, obviously. I still can't believe it just happens to be on the jury, though.
Oh, I had understood that London has a population of 6 million people. And yet, we seem to only find the same numbers of... the same, like, 25 people.
Like I said, I keep, like, based on the people that keep turning up in the jury, you'd swear that London is, like, a town of, like, actually, like, just 25 people or something, like a little hovel. But jeez. Speaking of game theory, Matt Pat works in politics now. Huh. The more you know. I did not know that.
Well, you do seem to run into the same people disproportionately often, don't you?
Tell me about it, preach, sister. Preach on that one, sister. It's time for argument.
Oh, there's a stepladder here, look!
Oh, yeah, a stepladder.
I think perhaps we should let the proprietress know that someone left it out. The stepladder, I mean. Is something wrong?
Why do I feel as though I just managed to sidestep an argument? We sidestepped the argument about the stepladder. That's an oldie but goldie for you all you Ace Attorney fans out there. Yunosuke knows better than to argue with somebody else about what is a ladder and what is a stepladder. There we are. Let me get this scene.
Oh. This one's posture reveals his weakness.
Sorry?
The killer's stance leaves him wide open to attack. I'm quite sure I could see him off. With a Susanoo takedown, then a Susanoo squash, and finally, a Susanoo smash!
Susanoo smash. Let her smash. Right. I'm concerned that is your train of thought. That's where your train of thought went.
And if that doesn't render the culprit unconscious, a Susanoo slam should finish him.
A Susanoo slam?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's, rather hard to explain. Leave yourself open slightly, and I'll demonstrate.
Absolutely not. This is a surprise thing that will turn up later, I am sure. Because at some point Yunosuke will put his guard down and then be victim of Susanoo slam. Doesn't appear to be here, we'll have to come back later. But, luckily, there is still one more place, new place to us that we have not seen. The Forensic Science Laboratory in the basement of St. Sinner's Hospital, where Chief Coroner Dr. Scythe conducts her work. Matt Pat now works in the caucus to improve stuff. Oh, I did not know this. Oh ho 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 ho! Fran knows what's up. And I've heard the rumblings about this place as well, like who we're gonna end up meeting, but saying nothing yet until we get in here. And it's sticking a when. Wow! This place doesn't scream Bloodborne and Yarnum and such, I don't know what does. Improving stuff like the overprotective childhood rules of the internet and AI ethics. My god, we needed more of those. Right, let's take a look off the bat and see what we can see. Like, okay, right, we got bone and organ samples up on the top shelf in jars. That's not terrifying in the slightest. Very rudimentary, I guess, coroner's kit. There's the gurney. Have we got taxidermy things up there? Taxidermy crow, taxidermy hoot hoot.
I like the hoot hoot.
I always like a hoot hoot. Big fan of owls. I'm a fan of owls. Everyone is fond of owls, except for Mice and Shrews and Simon Cowell's. Simon Cowell, your days are numbered. Owls will come for you when you slumber. Alright, 25th of October in the Forensics Laboratory. I believe this is it. Dr. Scythe's laboratory. That chemical smell really assaults the nose. And there's plenty to assault the eyes in here, too.
It looks as though the doctor isn't here. But we're here now, so we may as well do some sightseeing, don't you think?
What a seasoned tourist you've become, Mrs. Zato. I mean, well, we could just have a little look around, being careful not to upset any restless souls. Deathly silent in here, I notice. Okay, fair enough. Right, I guess work from top down and go, like, snake away like such, where we can and whatnot. Have a look at things. It's just this one scene as well. Okay, can't pan the camera around. Okay, that's fine. Those large jars seem to have pale things floating around inside them. I suppose they're fruit liqueurs or something. Or the pickled umeboshi plums we make back home. Oh, you know, say you sweet summer child. I'm not sure it's like pickled liver.
Oh, a father said jars like that in his laboratory as well. I expect they're human organs in the preserving solution. Probably as examples of some rare medical condition.
Mr. Zato, there are some things in the world that it's perfectly fine never to know about. Like, ever.
Oh!
So, as I said, I'm sure that fruit liqueurs are umeboshi, aren't they?
Of course.
Who wants pickled intestine sake later? Definitely not myself. I mean, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, sake, like, shochu sake at the best of times. If I'm drinking Japanese spirits, I do prefer, like, a plum wine, like a proper good, like, umeshu. You know, when you put, like, you do sort of a similar thing. You don't pickle the plums, but you throw them into, like an alcohol solution, and you just let them, you know, steep, and they become this nice fermented, like, plum wine. It's like, I love that. Over rocks or with soda, it's brilliant. That's my go-to spirit of choice, I think. A table and a set of sharp tools. When you consider each in isolation, it all looks quite innocent. So why is it that when you put them side by side, they seem so horribly disturbing?
It might be best not to ponder it too deeply. Seeing the large tome that's open on the desk does make me wonder, though. How can anybody concentrate on bookwork with this acrid odor of chemicals in the air?
You'd either have to have a cast iron constitution or a really terrible sense of smell. Like your nose would have to be shut off entirely. Like shut off your smell synapses. Ooh, they got bottles in there too. Look at all the bottles and the shelves in these cabinets. What an assortment of chemicals.
Are these ones they've labelled highly toxic?
ugh, that's worrying, because there are also things that look like salt and pepper shakers in there. Is one of them labeled llama extract? Because, good lord, I don't want to drink that and turn this into a Disney movie.
Oh yes! And they actually say salt and pepper on them. The doctor probably spends a lot of time in this room, I suppose. Perhaps she has meals here
Sometimes, god, that's gonna be unsanitary. Oh, life goes on, even when you're surrounded by death. Yeah, don't cross-contaminate that food, I swear to god. Oh, that's the entire cabinet there. Okay, I see. Can't look down there. This cabinet now.
I suppose this is Dr. Slive's desk.
Ooh, I would not like to sit in a working place like this.
It's very tidy though, isn't it, Miss Naruto? Imagine how efficiently she must work. I am totally not eye-eyeing you in this. Totally not giving you the side-eye, the stink eye.
Well, the lighting is poor, which is bad for the eyes, and the chemical smell can't be good for you. Not to mention the skeleton watching over you as you work, which is definitely bad for the nerves.
Well, yes, those are valid concerns, I suppose.
I can just about cope with a one-night Dharma doll watching over me, but that's it! That's all we can do, bless his soul. Yay! We can examine the taxidermies up here.
Ooh, that looks like an owl and a crow up there.
I know! And they haven't even twitched since we came in here.
Well, no, they wouldn't have. They're taxidermy mounts, Mr. Naruhodo.
Ugh, I was afraid you were going to say that. I've been trying very hard to tell myself they're just sleeping with their eyes open. Yeah, not even owls or crows do that. I think you don't know your Animalia too much.
Yes, I think perhaps you were wise to put something like your Dharma doll on display in the office instead.
Why to do that then? Say the lines, chat. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Well, look at this. What a magnificent display case. The cherry wood has been polished to a high sheen, and the intricate carving is a joy to behold. Western cabinet makers really are very skilled, aren't they?
Do you have nothing to say about the skeleton inside, Mr. Naruhodo?
Miss Susato, can't you tell I'm trying very hard to avoid talking about the terrifying contents of the case? It's how I cope.
Well, I'll be sure to remember that from now on.
I have very weird coping mechanisms. Can you blame me? Oh, really now? That's really all to look at, is it? We need to spend a bit more time investigating here, it says. Okay, how, pray tell? Where have I not looked yet? The only thing I haven't looked at is the things down there, but I can't. I've seen the taxidermies. I've seen the skeleton. What have I not seen in here yet, then? Gonna be very slow with the target marker. Huh. I don't know what I've seen. I don't know what I haven't seen yet. This is confusing.
This is very confusing.
Unless I have some evidence that might help here. Yeah, there's no means to present. There's no means to. I think I've seen all the evidence in. Look here. This is what apparently Mr. Enoch Dreber looks like. Something about a man with long hair. Pale skin and long white hair that just screams like, you're going to be a very interesting character, aren't you? I don't know. Okay, I don't know what else I need to have a look at in here. Because I can't, this is the only screen I can look at. I can't, like, pan the camera to elsewhere. Yeah, nothing on the gurney to look at. I thought I could have a look at the bench here, but, nothing's flashing there. Ominous chandelier, no. Taxidermies, I've already had a look. Is it the desk itself? No. You think it'd like be these like trunk boxes, but they're not flashing up. Well, so what else am I missing? It's like, because there ain't nothing for it. We have to come back later to the spells. Are you sure you've asked everything we need to hear? I wonder if the evidence we were given by a harebrain will come in useful somehow. Sholmes this week is just as it was when I left. To be fair, I don't think Susano's been back here yet. I mean, I think when I left off, there were quite a few places I had not seen yet, so, we could try, just, like, shift into every which way room and, make sure I know what I'm doing. Yeah. I mean, it's a change of pace to get some music back into the game. Just can't. Yeah, nothing there. Did we already talk in the prison? We went through all of your conversations. Maybe try presenting Enoch photo? Yeah, it's nothing to do with your hypothesis, actually. Then take it away. I don't want to be involved with anything that doesn't assist my science! Alright, keep your abundant hair on. I reckon this place might be a bit of a dead end at the current moment. Are you sure we've asked everything we can here? I'm pretty certain! Been through all the trees with Gina, I believe. If I try presenting something, she'll try to be like, yank it away from me. Present the massive birdcage to her. See if she like tries and yanks that. She does try and yank it away. I imagine it's probably just like a photo that we've got of it, or a sketch of it. Like in actuality, but I just like to imagine she's pickpocketed the entire, like, massive birdcage for the science experiment. And yeah, there was nothing at Waxwork yet. So yeah, it should be back here then, but I just don't know what else we haven't seen yet. Might need a pointer in the right direction here. Give a sec. Because I've literally, like, scanned... I feel like I've scanned everywhere in the room and I just don't know. I just don't know what. Might need a pointer. Be careful not to go too far down the way. Huh. Right, we show then. Back to move. Back to spells. Have I overlooked in here? Yeah, I've overlooked. I don't know what to... don't know where to go. I think I've scanned everything about the evidence as well. The evidence of it getting broken. Yeah, the birdcage getting broken by its impact from the fall. Did we scan this? Yeah, we had a look at the smudge on the back. The plus and minus are probably just like motifs of Drebbers rather than anything in particular. Right, I'm sort of dead-ending myself here. No, that's examining. I don't want to do that. Did I? Maybe I need to try giving like more people some of the evidence around here, so I can vote. We better not try going up those stairs to the stage area now. If we were to bump into the forensic investigation team, it sounds like it could make trouble. Do you know about Enoch Drebber? Or are you just gonna nick the photo from me again? You are going to nick the photo from me again. Thank you, thank you. You're very lovely and all, Gina, but rather unhelpful in this sitch. I tried presenting it to Hairbrain, but nothing happens. Mr. Strongheart is not about. I didn't expect to get stuck right about now, but lo and behold, here we are stuck. Nothing in this moment. Yeah, nothing in. I mean, there is technically another screen we can look at in this here. I'm expecting Sherlock Holmes to be like, Sherlock Holmes to be like halfway up the tower, like a freaking like the ultimate cat out of the place area. But yeah, not there. Yeah, she says need to spend a bit more time going there. Can't go back to my own office. I don't imagine going back to my own office is gonna bring any end to this one. You probably don't have anything to say about Enoch, but let's give it a go. Yep, she ain't gonna help us about that one. Yeah, I don't know. It's saying to me, this says to me I still need to be in the laboratory having a look at things, but I don't know what else to look. At. I cannot like. It feels like I'm either glaring over something that is like hidden away in the corner, or I'm going mad. Yeah, what is it? Do I need to be in this place? Do I need to be looking for something? Do I need to be doing something? Alright, just point me in a direction. Just point me in a direction, anybody who knows, because, honestly, I'm checking it myself without trying to give too much away. Yeah, that's a rather small little thing to, overlook, isn't it? Well, I sort of stumbled upon that at the same time you put it in chat, Palthea, but nonetheless, thank you. Oh, dear me. Yeah, there we go then. We found the book. Alright, we can continue. Yay! Just give me a sec to set back up. Dun 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 dun. And then dun 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 dun. And then dun 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 dun. Okay. Look at this big, thick book here.
Oh, it's supposed to be an accounting ledger. It's a record of the forensic investigation team's spending, I think. Oh?
Oh, what is it?
It's clear that the team purchases various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis. But, well, one entry seems rather strange.
Oh, really? In what way? I don't know, I'm not a forensics person.
They're buying 500 scalpels every month!
500? They must be working really hard on dissecting corpses.
I don't know. Judicial autopsies are only carried out in certain special circumstances. And scalpel blades can be sharpened, too.
It does seem a bit strange. You're right. 500 scalpels a month? What can I be possibly using them for? Lord knows. Ah! Unknown voice. What are you doing? Ah! What are you doing? Ah! Oh, sorry. We had something we wanted to ask you, but you weren't here, so, So, you thought you'd snoop around. That's acceptable to you people from the East, is it? Oh god, she's another one of those xenophobe peoples, maybe. Well, what do you want? Lord Strongheart told us, you see, that it was you who examined the victim's body. Mr. Assman's body, I mean.
So we came to ask you about your findings. On Lord Strongheart's advice.
Very well. If the Lord Chief Justice has given his consent, I'll tell you what our investigation revealed. But when we're done, you must leave immediately. Look at the pose! I think we'll first, start presenting things. Did you perhaps examine the screwdriver supposedly used as Moida weapon? Dr. Sybe, would you be good enough to take a look at this? Oh, you think I'm good enough, do you? Oh, no, I didn't mean, So I'm not good enough. In that case, why would you show me anything? Ugh, clearly you're too good for me to show you anything again, ever. Too big for your britches. She might react to Enoch Drebber photo. She does not react to Enoch Drebber photo. Interesting. Also the white sort of gray, the white gray eyes on her entire white gray complexion. It's almost ghostly. Anyway, I guess we just be straight to the point on this then.
So, you want to know what the forensic investigation team determined from its examination of the scene? The victim, Mr. O.D. Assman, who discovered from the experimentation stage amidst an explosion, and the Mr. Assman, who appeared moments later partway up the Crystal Tower, were without question one and the same person. That is the team's conclusion.
But that can't be right!
If it was an elaborate trick, we can only speculate about how it was carried out. Let's see. If two people who looked very similar to each other were involved, they could have made it appear as if one single person had switched places, couldn't they? Very true. But sadly, in this instance, that was not the case.
Needed elsewhere, we'll be back at the grocery shopping.
Okay then, Palthea.
Shopping is important. I hope you have a nice time with it. And get all the stuff that you are needing.
The man who disappeared and the man who subsequently reappeared was the same person. The fingerprints at the scene make that quite evident.
Oh, fingerprints. Yeah.
They're not officially recognized as forensic evidence in the British justice system, but one day, they will be used as an investigative aid as a matter of course. Oh my! But that would mean that the instantaneous kinesis actually took place! So, where does that leave us? My team was tasked with investigating, not drawing conclusions.
Instantaneous kinesis is impossible, and yet the body did move from one place to another. This doesn't clear anything up at all. It's made the whole thing even more of a mystery. What?
Hi! Mum.
Oh, wait. She's in the mask.
Mama, what is this?
Ah! Oh, where did she spring from? And did she just call the doctor Mama?
This is a lawyer, dear.
Hello. To meet you. Please to meet you. Yeah, I'm a defense lawyer. Yunosuke Maruza...
Mama? Are you my mama?
Yes?
Can I cut this one up?
What?
I've never seen inside an Eastern person before. I want to know what it looks like.
Of course you can't. It's a live specimen, as you can very well see. She's very upset about that.
Boring.
I think I just had a near-death experience. Wow.
Oh dear, Mr. Naruhodo, you're as pale as a corpse.
Then let's leave before I'm mistaken for one. Alright, indeed. So it seems like we have an underling here, and the underling is related in some way. So, what are you doing at the moment, Doctor? Keeping a close eye on things so no impertinent Easterners think they can look around my office. Are there such impertinent Easterners around? Oh, how terrible! Could it be me? Yes, you. Oh, she doesn't mince her words, Mr. Zato.
I think perhaps it's time we left.
Rather unfortunately. So with that out of the way, that's still got a few seconds for to go.
Okay, no problem. No worries.
I don't expect you. Like, if you need to bob away for something, you need to bob away for something. I'm not going to hold you to anything. Don't worry about it. We should have to come back at it later, but maybe he is back now. Let's have a look. Examination. Around here, around there. I do not see a Sholmes. Without small, barely visible interactables. Let's make sure not to get stuck on those. Huh. We don't have business at the prosecutor office. If the evidence we were given by Hairbrain will come in useful somehow. Feel so nervous here, just when I was when I left. I love the little office with a wonderful memory I have. Are you sure we've asked everything we can here? Am I sure of this? Because Gina's got nothing else. If I try and keep, like, giving evidence to Gina, she just, like, plays with it and nicks it from me. Autopsy repellent, maybe? No. Nope, definitely not that then. It is back here. Yeah, but yeah, the problem is I'm not allowed to... Yeah, I'm not allowed to see anything else in here. Well, he should be here now. Right, what am I missing then, if that's the case? Oh, do you know? Do you know? Maybe. Oh, okay. I can see where this is going. I can see where that goes. Actually, yeah. I see where it's going now because Gina. It's technically not just Gina anymore. She now has a very good boy. And maybe oil on the back of the card has a scent in it. Maybe. Oh, good call. Good call on that. Actually, yeah. So, about this, Gina,
Yeah? I'm still learning my letters at the moment. I don't know A to E. So if it ain't much too much bleeding trouble... Actually, Gina, it's the back of the card that's important. Aye? How come? Well, there's just a dirty old smudge in the back, that's all. It turns out that this is a very high-quality French machine oil. It has a very particular scent, apparently. Oh, you don't say. Well, let's have a whiff then. Are you sure? I don't smell nothing.
No. We didn't mean that you should smell it.
Oh, right. You mean Toby. Come here, boy. Look at Toby. Look at him.
His sense of smell is so good, he can track people over the oceans, can't he?
Professor Hairbrain informs him that this oil is unique to Mr. Drebber's workshop.
Pointed the thing like a freaking gun. She's like... Oh. I think he's picked up on a scent.
So you mean, if he follows the scent of this oil, Toby can lead us to that dodgy co's workshop? That's right. That's exactly what we're hoping. Alright then, we'll give it a go. I'll just borrow that.
Wait, when did you... Ah, once a pickpocket.
If I can lead everyone to that Drebber's workshop, I'll be the boss's boss for next week. Oh yes, Gina. I'm sure you'll be promoted.
Oh, poor Gregson. Like, yikes.
Right then, Odo, leave it to me.
Sorry?
We're gonna get going after that dodgy co right this minute. Oh, but hang on. Someone's supposed to be on guard duty here all the time.
I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with our investigation as well, Gina.
Oh, right. Oh well, never mind. It ain't gonna be me what gets it in the neck. It'll be the boss.
Poor Gregson again.
Ready, Toby? Got the oil set, have you? Come on then, boy. See you later.
Bye. I like how she points Toby like a freaking gun. I love that.
I do have the sense of that oil leads into that swindler's workshop.
Yeah, I hope so too. Ideally before the dog swims across the channel to France. Well, I think we've done all the investigating we can do here for now. If we could just determine the whereabouts of Mr. Drebber.
I'm sure Gina and little Toby won't let us down. Now then, do you think we ought to try to speak with Mr. Sholmes at this point? We have things to discuss and I'm dying to meet him again after all these months.
Yes, it's quite possible he might know something useful. You're right. We ought to find him at Madame Tispel's. He's supposed to be working there as a temporary waxwork exhibit.
Oh yes! Iris told me about this latest unusual venture.
An unusual venture it certainly is. Alright, I head over there. Okay then. Let's get it started here. 25th of October, Madame Tispel's Museum of Waxworks. And we're breaking here, actually, because it's nearly time to run the, what is it? Run the outbreak now for people in Twitchland. But yeah, we're gonna do that now. Twitchland people, you will be, we will be, yep, taking a break now. YouTube land, there will be no break in the highlight because we'll cut that out, but if you do want to pause and have a quick break to do some taking care of things, you are more than welcome to do that. It's always a good idea. But in any case, I'll see you back here after the break time in a few minutes. See you in a bit. The warmest of welcomes back. The music may not be too welcoming now, but I welcome you back, obviously. And to do some more of this game on its 10th birthday, pretty much, or the 10th anniversary of its series. Yeah. Getting a bit, like, stuck every now and then, but hopefully we won't run into too many more hurdles like that, but we'll see. Thank you for still sticking around as well if you are in Twitchland and YouTube land, if you're watching in YouTube land and are enjoying what we're doing here, please do let me know by leaving likes and comments down below. Maybe even hitting subscribe and maybe hitting the bell too to get those notifications. All of that would be super, super helpful, and I would be very grateful if you did. With all that said, it's time to come back and do more. Here we go.
Here we are again at the House of Horrors. I'm afraid I haven't got used to the place yet. I'd still like to turn on my heels and go straight home. Via the confectionery, of course.
Susanna-san really is up to something sweet today, isn't she? Mayhap some caramel. Ah! What's the matter?
Look! It's Naruto! Look at that waxwork! I'm quite sure it wasn't there before.
That's because it wasn't. That's because it's the boy!
It looks exactly like Mr. Sholmes down to the very last detail.
Aha!
What is it?
Oh, sorry, I think you'll find, that's the temporary waxwork himself, in the wax. I can't say really in the flesh, but he's pretending to be wax, that's the thing. Which person?
Ah, the friend of my dedicated employee.
Oh yeah, hello again. It's Yunosuke, Yunosuke Naruhodo.
I must say, I'm quite spellbound by the great detective. He is a marvel. My precious waxwork is already back where it belongs.
You don't mean,
Oh, but yes, the mystery is solved already.
Wow! Mr. Sholmes can really engage his brain when he's hungry enough.
So, as you can see, he has returned to his, habitual duties.
Yes, I can see.
His habitual duties? Allah! Shh, do not disturb, huh?
Lord, do not disturb the man while he does the business. Poor Susato-san, she looks very perplexed. But yes, I think now that the coast is clear...
Let's talk to the boy! Well, we really do need to speak with Mr. Sholmes, and I am longing to say hello again. But where is he?
Hey, Susato, don't look now. I think you might find that he is quite nearby, actually. It's like... he always seems to be in a room with us, even when he's trying not to be.
Oh, what do you...
Indeed, my dear fellows, it is I! Hello! Oh, frightfully sorry to scale, my dear. The world-famous great detective and the waxwork Sherlock Sholmes. This is Susato-san! Susato-san! Wow. Sherlock, what a man. What a gentle man. Sent a catatonic. Jeez. Oh, my most humble apologies.
I thought I died and gone to eternal paradise for a moment. Via London.
My dear madam, allow me to make amends by offering you a tasty free deduction at some point. As long as it's not of questionable street food quality.
I don't understand. Why are you working as a waxwork here, Mr. Sholmes?
Why, indeed. Merely a secret identity, you understand. Though the case is largely solved now.
Largely solved?
We're talking about the waxwork abduction, I presume. Indeed we are, my good fellow. As I predicted, it was as easy as proverbial pie. Though I confess, I'm yet to partake of a pie, proverbial or otherwise, or any food so far today, for that matter. That stomach rumble echoed around the whole museum. He hungry. So how did you manage to solve it so quickly? Ah, well, do remember I said it was largely solved. Anyway, I simply negotiated with the culprit. Are you familiar with the so-called telephone?
Oh yes, it's a most modern invention.
For this time period.
Allowing you to hold a conversation with people far away. In Japan, only the imperial capital and a handful of other cities are connected as yet.
This morning, a telephone call was received here from the perpetrator of the abduction. As such, I was able to negotiate terms, and in the end, the waxworks was returned. That's amazing! Just between you and I, it would appear the culprit has always intended to return the stolen waxwork in any event.
Oh, but I thought whoever was responsible had demanded a ransom, no?
Yes, I think perhaps the ransom demand was necessary to avoid unwanted suspicion regarding the true motive.
But does that not mean your negotiating was entirely unnecessary?
A fact that I must ask you to keep from Madame Spells at all costs. A hungry young iris awaits my return to Baker Street, after all. If I tell lies, I will not get pies. Gosh, poor Iris. You're letting a 10-year-old starve. I hope you're proud of yourself. Now then, do I sense that you have some business with this great waxwork? Boy, howdy, we do. But first, let's get first bit out of the way. So we're in the process of trying to track somebody down. Oh?
Yes, a man by the name of Enoch Drebber. He's the swindler who duped Professor Hairbrain and the engineer who built the kinesis machine.
A swindler and an engineer? Quite the modern man. He also seems to be a conjurer of sorts too, with considerable knowledge of stage magic. We really need to locate him before the trial resumes tomorrow morning. But we have so few clues to go on, that's the trouble. Do you have any good ideas? I have no data yet. It's a capital mistake to have good ideas before one has data. If I knew something of the man's appearance, at least, I may be in a better position to help. Oh yeah, Drebber's appearance. Fortunately for you, however, presently, I have little to occupy myself and little to fill my stomach. As soon as you find any clue, no matter how small, I should gladly give you my thoughts on it. Well, let's hold you to that because, photograph we have. Hey yo, look at this graph! Mr. Sholmes, would you cast your eyes over this photographic print?
It's of Mr. Enoch Drebber, the face of the engineer we seek.
Well, all Englishmen look broadly the same, of course. So looking at the photograph won't be particularly instructive. Are you alright, Mr. Sholmes? I think he's on to it. Oh, yes, forgive me. Very interesting this, very interesting indeed.
What's wrong, Mr. Sholmes? You've turned quite pale all of a sudden.
Really, that's all. Maybe more evidence comes up later. But here's the rub, here is the rub. Since we're believing that the apprentice is this person, it would mean that Mr. Sholmes has held back some rather unfortunately very pertinent information. Withheld the truthimus, shall we say. Let's go for it. Mr. Sholmes, did you lie to us? My dear Mr. Naruhodo, stay that piercing stare. What is this about?
Last winter, when we were first on our way to Britain aboard the steamship, your words were very clear. So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. You told us that it was murder. And you examined Cosmo-sama's body.
Indeed. And wherein lies the problem? We met him earlier today. The victim, Kazuma Asugi. You're quite sure?
He was wearing some sort of mask and was apparently suffering from amnesia. But yes, I'm quite sure it was Cosmo-sama. You must have known at the time, Mr. Sholmes, that he wasn't actually dead.
Well, I can only assume I was swept up in the murderous atmosphere of the moment. But the fellow wasn't dead at all! Ah, priceless. I don't suppose that performance would pass muster, would it, Miss Naruhodo? I could believe that the crewmen present at the time made a mistake, but not you, Mr. Sholmes. I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. Please, Mr. Sholmes. Tomorrow in court, you will find yourself on the threshold of a very great mystery. For now, I'm afraid that is all I can say. I have a suggestion, Miss Naruhodo. Will you indulge me? Alright, deflecting much. Oh, well, what is it? Deflecting much? As I explained to you when you arrived, the missing waxwork has been returned. And I personally have reinstalled it in the exhibit from which it was taken, behind those thick curtains. Oh, yeah, the professor exhibit, isn't it? Would you like to see it? For a mere 5 shillings. That's a special one-time only prize, you understand. What? The opportunity won't come again, I might add. Would you like to see the fruits of my labor?
Well, we do have a rather pressing investigation to carry out. Perhaps we could postpone?
The price is a very reasonable 5 shillings. I think you'll find it well worth it. Are you being quite serious, Mr. Sholmes? Surely you need only look at my expression to ascertain if this is seriousness or silliness. Like, the Venn diagram is more like a circle rather than... Yeah, it's like, yeah. You might as well have a full circle in your hands rather than an actual Venn diagram on that one. I can never tell with you, that's the point!
Very well, it couldn't hurt. Here's your 5 shillings.
Gratefully received. So, the special exhibit awaits behind the curtain. I invite you to peruse it at your leisure. Thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye. He's off to be a statue now again.
Well, the money's been spent, so let's go and see the special exhibit.
Oh, I thought we were fanfaring this. Through those heavy curtains at last. And... you are making us... You are making us do it as such. You are being very, very suspenseful about this. You're piling up the tension. 5 shillings we've had to pay. It doesn't seem right somehow that Mr. Sholmes slipped the money into his own pocket, does it?
No. We can ask Gina to retrieve it for us, using her special skills.
Pickpocketing police officers and diddling detectives? Is this what makes Britain great? Not to mention demigod prosecutors taking the law into their own hands, or chip-living inspectors. I might be mad for this place now. Might be losing it, finally.
Inspector Gregson comes off rather well on that list, I think.
Point is, I think Yunosuke is getting a little bit loopy being over here for so long. 25th of October, Madame Tuspel's special exhibit. Ah! Yikes.
Oh dear, I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walked in here.
Mr. Sato! I say we turn on our heels and go straight home, via a really big confectionery.
We certainly can't do that. We've paid 5 shillings already.
True. Technically, we haven't paid the place. We only paid Chomes for this, but you know, the semantics. Actually, now that I'm looking a little more closely, we've paid good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. The nerve of the great diddling detective is far more terrifying than anything else in this place.
This must be what Mr. Sholmes meant when he said the case was largely solved.
Be that as it may... Or rather, I should be thinking this in my head because it's blue text. Be that as it may, Mr. Sholmes heavily implied there'd be a clue about the engineer in here, didn't he? But where? Well, since we paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we?
Yes, we will get what we paid for.
Is that fear or frustration that's making Susato-san's voice tremble? You be the judge of that. Right, what can we look at? Obviously, imposing man here. Does this all count as... I think this is all counting as him. With a shovel or a spade? Are we gonna have an argument about this? Then the waxwork with the missing head. Possibly the headstone too. Number 139. Number 58 something? Or is that just number 58? 58, 139... Maybe a combination for something. Also, it's another hoot hoot! Ominous at the back as well. Right. I suppose let's go in order then. Shovel or spade?
This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real.
It seems to be a young man in a white overcoat.
And he has a large shovel in his hand too, look!
Perhaps we should investigate this in a little more detail. Zoom in and enhance. Whip, 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 whip. Right, what's there to look at? There's the big lantern, obviously. That's quite a large lamp the man's carrying. Or is it a lantern? It's not like a Japanese chochin paper lantern, actually, is it?
Lamp? Lantern? Chochin? The point is it casts very little light. To be walking alone in a graveyard at night with only this... Well, I certainly couldn't do it.
I'm not sure I could visit the graveyard at all, even in broad daylight, to be honest. Somebody's... But totally understandably. Not entirely an unfounded fear, actually. We have a camera. What's this here?
Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle. So, I believe it's probably a camera.
A camera? But it's so small. British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what about Mr. Sholmes' skin prints?
I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Sholmes' inventions as exceptions to the rule.
Truth?
But anyway, why would the man be in a graveyard at night with a camera?
I wonder. Perhaps he was trying to capture the moment a dead body came back as a ghost on film. Ah, of course, Victorian era Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call, I say? The Busters of Ghosts. Yes, of course.
We'll just borrow this for a little while, I think.
Camera put into my court record. Yep, Susato has just pilfered. Yay, there's a first time for everything. The camera from around the neck of a waxwork in the Madame Tussauds special exhibit.
By looking at the photographic plate inside the camera, we can see what picture was taken.
What's a photographic plate?
It's a piece of glass coated in a special emulsion that reacts to the light coming in through the lens. If we open up the cover at the back of the camera, We should find it. Let's have a look.
Ooh, you should see yourself, Susato-san. Your eyes are shining. You really do like machinery, don't you? And I'm not going to say anything about it. Alright, interesting that we can't see that. That plus sign is very similar to stuff we've seen earlier. And then... Chauvel.
What a large shovel. He's holding it rather ominously, isn't he? What on earth is a man doing with a shovel in the graveyard in the middle of the night?
Miss Susato...
Yes?
That's... a spade, isn't it? We're doing this again, aren't we?
No, it's a shovel.
No. Shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade.
We've been through this, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a shovel.
No. Oh, although we haven't considered trowels.
Oh, for goodness sake. We've allowed ourselves to be distracted, I feel. Perhaps we should concentrate on what the man was doing with the implement.
So, we're just gonna bury the hatchets? I think so, yes. You're right, though. What was the man doing in the graveyard in the first place? That's the real question. What were you doing? Oh, there we go. We can just about get the man's face right at the top as well. I can't see his face very well, can you? Perhaps if I just... Oh!
Oh! Do you think you should be manhandling the exhibits, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'll put it back exactly as it was, don't worry. He says, and that's probably not gonna happen. Ah! There we go. Ah!
What on earth? How can...
I don't believe it. A black monocle!
Mr. Naruhodo, is it possible that this man is...
Yeah. It's Enoch Trapper!
The color of his hair is different, but it's unmistakably him!
Is he also playing kind of foolhardy, pretending to be one of the exhibits to try and complete a penny? Indeed it is. Indeed it is! Ah, Mr. Sholmes! This man is the subject of your present hunt, I believe. Yeah, that's right. Just who is this man? Why is he here in this exhibit? And why does the convict behind him have no head? The head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it. Oh, what a surprise. So then the case isn't yet solved, is it? Did I not say so myself? Largely solved were my words, I believe. But I must locate the missing head, tout de suite, as Madame would say, or I'll be in grave trouble. Nah. A very hungry Iris still awaits my return to Baker Street, preferably with rations. Ah!
Do you know something there? Something about this room is strange.
Strange? What do you mean?
Well, the displays in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not?
Indeed they are, Mrs. Otto. Do go on. Do feel free to elaborate.
And as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other exhibits are believable. But this one... This surely couldn't ever really have happened, could it?
What, do you mean Victorian Ghostbusters wasn't a thing? Huh? I think it's time I educated you a little. About the nature of the incident involving the professor 10 years ago. Oh, goodness. Is it gonna be like live burials? Buried alive kind of stitches? My god. Ah! Oh no. Something tells me we ain't gonna like. Firstly, the resurrecting convict. I believe I told you a little about the professor yesterday, did I not? he took the lives of 5 victims, everyone being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound and had their throats ripped from their bodies.
Oh gosh! An enormous hound? How awful!
After taking the life of his 5th victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand, and accordingly, the professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. A closed court? So you mean that the professor's identity... As you've surmised, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in a grave at Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair.
Oh!
The very night that he was buried, the convicted man came back to life.
Ah! Came back to life?
Ew, Victorian Ghostbusters is real. He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlit graveyard. The exhibit here depicts that very scene as described by the sole witness to these chilling events. There was a witness? But of course, my dear fellow, it was none other than that young man in the white overcoat. Enoch Drebber! He saw this happen? Oh, that might be enough to, like, change a man's whole entire brain function. Like, the entire, like, wiring inside them to be, like, get a bit more schizophrenic, be a bit more reclusive. Yeah, that has the power to, like, change people seeing something like this. You know? Trauma begets stuff like this happening, definitely. Damn, alright. So this is a waxwork model of Enoch Drebber. 10 years ago, the convicted professor, having been gibbeted and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. The sole witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old.
It's so horrifying.
Scared out of his wits, the young Drebber ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. And the sheer terror of what he'd seen is said to have turned his hair white overnight. Oh yeah, as shown in the photograph we have of him, his hair is completely white. Yikes. Not just like internal wiring, but physical appearance. My word, that really put the sort to him, huh? For the following few days, the story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who'd come back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here at Madame Tussauds.
I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly. But what I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place. In a lonely graveyard, in the middle of the night.
Yeah, what was he up to? The events following the execution. The professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest levels of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. Yeah, I can imagine the impact the case must have had. But in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, as a preposterous parlor tale.
But why did people stop believing it?
Why? Simply because there was no resurrection to speak of. As was established, in fact. What do you mean by no resurrection? The police investigating the grave in Lowgate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the execution.
No! But that would mean Mr. Drebber must have lied to the police and the newspapers.
That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The young man subsequently vanished from society, and nothing has been heard of him since. It's rather striking, then, that he should resurface now, don't you think? Of course, the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life. That's not possible. But Drebber's hair is unusually white. And if that really did happen overnight as a result of shock, it's hard to believe the incident was an out-and-out lie.
We want you to drink something.
Yes, I have talked quite a lot. I'm thinking to myself about that. That's done there. Thank you so much, TV, for keeping me on top of that. And thank you for coming in as well. Nice to see you again. Welly, 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 well. Oh, Shelms, you want to take a look at this? About that... As you were saying, I'm rather busy. If it's advice you seek, come to my office tomorrow. Shall we say, Thop and Sprite into that? Yeah. Maybe what we need to do is have a look at it first. So bear with me a second. Because I haven't seen this yet properly.
What a wonderful machine!
You really love contraptions like this, don't you?
Oh yes! Anything mechanical I find absolutely irresistible.
Almost irresistible, surely.
Well, whenever I see a pocket watch, for example, I can't help myself. I simply have to take it apart.
That's worrying.
Yes, Father tells the time by the rumblings of his stomach now. He's given up having a watch.
Wow, poor Professor Mikotoba. Or indeed. We will get to the bloodstain. I did see that. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But yeah, maybe we can see what's printed on the back of the screen. Oh look, the cover came open.
Yes. Now there should be a glass plate inside. You have to change the plate with each new photograph you want to take. You see?
Is something wrong?
There is no plate. It's been removed.
Oh, what a pity. But I suppose if you think about it, this wouldn't be the actual camera that was used at the time, just like the waxwork isn't the actual person. So we'd never have found a photographic print of the executed convict coming back to life anyway.
Oh, yes, you're quite right, of course.
Oh, poor old Suzato-san. She looks devastated. Devastated to know one of the truths of this camera, but there is a second one. Look at this.
Look, Miss Naruhodo.
What is it?
On the bellows, just here. There seems to be some very dark red stains.
Yeah, you're right. It looks like blood, actually.
Oh my.
I'm sure it's not what you're thinking. Camera updated in the record. When the lens is extended, dark staining is visible on its bellows. That we might assume could be blood. So, from a victim or as a result of this being used in a blunt force trauma attack, perhaps? But maybe now Sholmes might be interested? He is not. That's fair enough. Would he take a look at this photo now? He would, yes. Mr. Sholmes, could you look at this photograph again? Ah, I see. So that's it. What? Have you worked something out? There is indeed one deduction to be made from the photograph, yes. Each time you show it to me, it will cost you 5 shillings. Otherwise, I have nothing to add. Oh, wonderful. And nothing for me to take away either. Why does this man treat me in such a way, leading me on to then be like, yep, nothing for it? Well, I mean, what we haven't done yet is actually seen the rest of the room, so that's a point to make. Okay, let's see the headstone first. It doesn't matter if they're here in Britain or in Japan. Graveyards are scary.
Now I come to think of it, this is the first time I've seen a British grave. According to what I've read, the custom in Britain is to bury the dead as they are without cremation.
What? But if you do that, you might accidentally bury people while they're still alive.
I'm not sure that would be worse than accidentally incinerating people while they're still alive.
I think we can both agree that it's best not to be still alive when our time comes, then.
And what am I to say to that?
I don't know, I say things sometimes out of pure, like, scaredy catness. Can you blame me?
Oh, this must be the killer! The fiend known as the Professor!
Yeah, I think so. According to what Man to Spell said, he killed 5 victims, all of noble or royal blood.
The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place.
I know, it looks like it could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If only it had a head, that is. Perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. Zoom in and enhance. Yes. Like, what can we have a look at? Not the number. I would have thought that the number would have been, like, significant in a way, but maybe not quite yet. But now, though, definitely have a look at the missing head from the stub.
So this is the condemned man?
Yeah, the so-called professor.
Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine. But unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost.
Do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Miss Susato? The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I read about that once and it was very scary. I don't want this to be an Ichabod Crane. I don't want to be an Ichabod Crane! Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. There's a metal fitting for it. See, there's a metal fitting for it. I'm so panicked, I'm missing my inflections.
Then perhaps Mr. Jones absentmindedly forgot to reattach it.
That is an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it? Although an also extremely likely possibility, given that it's very absent-minded.
Or perhaps the thief absentmindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum.
And that would be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Oh! There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. Is there? It looks like a piece of broken glass. And quite a big piece, too.
It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than normal window glazing, I'd say.
Ooh, pieces. Pieces might be coming together in my head. You'd imagine that to build a crystal tower, you'd need a lot of glass for the big old windows in it. So yeah, maybe they did use this like as a big old stunt in the first place. Oh! Okay. So whoever was responsible for this misgiving to Assman, maybe what they did to try and maintain the illusion and fool the coroner into thinking the body that was there before the experiment and the body found afterwards when it had done its whole shabam was led on to think it was one and the same. Probably during the commotion of the science experiment getting all flustered and getting all up in arms and getting all explodey and smoky and such. Incident happened then. Stabbing incident happened then. Body was removed from there in all that commotion. Somehow transported through all the chaos and such unnoticed into that area of the Crystal Tower, whereby a facsimile fell from the balloon that was shot into the glass of the Crystal Tower. Thereby it got removed, but they were like, oh wait, there's no head for this, or it'll be fine. Try and roll with it. They won't know. Nobody will be the wiser. And then took away that mannequin, probably this one, and planted the body back in the same place. That could be what happened. And thus that would fool coroners to thinking they were one and the same. Yo, alright. My theory has been made. We'll see if it's true later on, but yeah. So where could such a thick piece of glass have come from, I wonder?
I suppose it must be made thick to increase its strength.
But why?
Well, perhaps because the glass had to span a particularly wide area, such as in a big building, for example.
Ah, well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? And some of the glass was broken too.
Oh, you don't mean...
Exactly. The Crystal Tower, the Great Exhibition.
But why would glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside this waxwork's jacket?
It makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you formulate your theories. Yes, indeed. The piece of broken glass added to the court record a small fragment of a very unusual thick glass that was found in the folds of the clothing of the Professor Waxwork. It would appear to be from the Crystal Tower. Earlier in court, we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick. And now we discover this fragment of glass here in this waxwork. Is it just a coincidence? Is this just a coinky dink? Me thinks maybe, but it's not. But nothing else to have a look at there, it looks like.
What the blatant no-around-eye? What you gonna done?
Gina! What are you doing here?
I asked Iris, and she said this way at base, so... Gina! Not so loud in the museum!
Madame Tuspels will have you take a position as waxwork if you're not careful. I think there might be a more pressing concern.
I still have some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so... Alright, Gina, we understand, but please, put down the gun!
Well, yikes.
Sorry, I got scared.
You should try being on the one on the other end of the barrel. I have a bleeding heart attack over here. So, what brings you here, Gina?
What brings me here? What you think? We found it! We found the Dodgy Cove's workshop!
What? You found Trevor's workshop?
Yup! Toby's nose took me straight there. Your boss and the others running over there now in the drag. So come on! Here's the address. I got the boss to write it out. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once. All right then. See you there. Last one there's a rotten egg.
I imagine Gina would still say something like that when she runs away off like that. You go. Don't mind me. I'll just stay here, being still. What? I know my place. In the exhibit over there.
Oh dear, someone's feeling sorry for himself.
Let's go, Mr. Holmes. You're coming. Your words hearten me, I must say, but if I were to shirk my duties here, Madame would have me pay monetary recompense, and Iris's dinner plate would be emptier once more. Forget that! I'll pay for everything! Don't mince those words, Yunosuke. There's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow. I shall hail a carriage at once. No offer to share the cost for Mr. Sholmes, then?
Oh, I shall gladly pay half, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thank you, Mrs. Zato. Right, let's go. Oh, we love our boy in all honesty. He's so silly. He's so silly. 23rd of October at Enoch Dreber's workshop. We finally here. Oh, and look at that. It is a replica or a second form or something. Prototype of the Faker machine. That looks like...
Oh! It's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine!
Indeed, it would appear so. Though, only a prototype, naturally.
Ah, so you got here then? Gina! Well done for finding this place! And in such little time! You've really worked miracles! Oh, it's Toby here, there's a miracle worker! He's a key pioneer! Yes, he is!
Oh, I thought you lot would show up before long. What's wrong with your eyes, Gregson? Oh, hello, Inspector. That is one knitted brow. I was honestly about to ask, has he suffered like a bee sting or something? I don't know if anybody saw that episode of Born Survivor with Bear Grylls where he willingly took a... No, not willingly, but somehow during one of the filmings that he did, he took a bee sting to one of his eyelids. And probably actually both his eyelids, and they just swelled up like so. It was like literally looking like this. Like, holy shit. Face like a bulldog chewing a wasp. That's what I'd say. It looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips. Probably way too much lemon juice over the top of it. Maybe.
So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer?
Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here.
Oh, what a shame.
Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us a chance to investigate. According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue that you lot turned up. I wouldn't wanna, say, go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid now, would I? Thank you. Anyway, if you're open to snoop around in here, I'd get cracking. Lord Van Zeeks and the forensic investigation team are on their way here as they speak. Oh, them again. I imagine you've got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to lawyer types. Right. So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down while we have the chance. And you, Sholmes. Oh, pardon? They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers. Oh, very droll, Gregson, very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model. Right then, let's see what we can find in here. Let's have a look. It's in the book. Okay, trophy. Tank train. Fair dues. Model plane. Big ladder. Not a step one, so that's fine. Gas canisters. Quiver of arrows. For a crossbow. Interesting. The exit out to here. And then the machine itself. Alright, let's work in order then. Let's have a look at this first. What on earth is this?
An aeroplane, Mr. Naruhodo. One day, scientists believe it will allow humans to fly freely in the skies.
Is that how the trick will be described, is it?
Sorry?
Well, it's actually suspended by a thin but very, very strong cable, isn't it?
Oh, well, this model is, yes. But a real aeroplane would actually fly high in the sky.
While suspended from somewhere even higher in the sky, of course. Because large metal objects obviously can't really stay in midair and support it.
So to you, the solution is ever taller towers?
There's a theory of some kind. Then we have a trophy. Ah, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I'm thinking of pouring it. I didn't say anything. What do you think? Well, it's an impressive-looking back massager, that's for sure. I've no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches and pains would soon go away. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Ah! Well, I was way off the mark. Would you like a massage? No, I'm fine, thank you. Oh, I had no idea it was such a grand thing.
I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Mr. Enoch Trevor than conjuring tricks.
I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Miss Naruhodo? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course. Oh, he's not gonna let that go, is he? Oh, I made a big boo-boo.
It's curious though, isn't it? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere not haphazardly cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times.
The science trophy, added to the record. A trophy for excellence in science that was found in Mr. Drebber's workshop. It's a very prestigious award for a young scientist. It is very much indeed. We have time to look at one more piece of evidence on the floor over here. The crossbow quiver. This is... It's a European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside.
Oh! Oh, do you suppose?
Crossbow bolts, these. And just the right size for the bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds. In other words... Yep, that's more evidence to support your theory. It all goes to show that Drebber was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam. Crossbow updated! We can now attribute this one to Mr. Drebber. Okay, interesting. Yes. I have just noticed the time. Unfortunately, we are going to have another one of our breaky breaks. And we'll get that out of the way so we can run some ads in the middle as well for Twitch people. For YouTube people, there is no break coming up because we'll have cut it out of the highlights. But of course, if you'd like to do a quick pause and get up to take care of some business, that's always a great idea to do that. But in any case, I will be returning to do some more investigating of this room when we come back in a few minutes' time. See you then. Hey yo! Thanks for coming back in and welcome back to this video here. We're going to continue our playthrough of where we left off last time. Here in Enoch Drebber's lab. Don't forget, we're still here for the 10th anniversary of Greatest Attorney as of its Japanese release that came out in 2015. This date last year in July 9th when this stream goes out, when this stream was made. 10 years to the day of this game series, and yes, I've become very normal over it. Yeah, if you're having a fun time watching this in either Twitch land or YouTube land, do let me know, of course. If you're in YouTube land, you can leave a like or comment down below. You can even subscribe and hit the bell if you want to catch up with this series and see more of it coming up in the future. If it isn't there already, you might find something else you might like on the channel. So yeah, peruse at your leisure, and yeah, would be greatly appreciated if you came along for the ride. So, when we last left off, we were doing an investigation, as I said, of Enoch Drebber's lab, and we've seen some things already, but not all of them. The trophy, which is important, the model plane, which wasn't, the crossbow bolt quiver, which definitely was, but let's see some other things now. This door doesn't want to open.
Yeah, looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it.
There's a specialist locksmith on his way over from the yard, so hands off till he gets here. Oh, with permission, Inspector, I could have the lock open in less than a minute. Well, you don't have permission, and no one's given it to you. Gregson looks as though he really enjoyed that. He had fun saying those words.
Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side.
No, Trevor must have fled at the first sign of danger. He must have bolted, as they say. Let's take a look at the contraption itself.
I'm sorry, Miss Nahoda. That machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. There would be serious repercussions if you were to examine it from the Crown and the government.
Oh, but Susato, did you hear the news? Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow.
No loose change up on the floor or nothing. Only the bone for Toby here, my dear fella. British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they?
I think that's just these two, Mrs. Zato. Oh, God. Hi.
Oh?
Is something wrong, Mrs. Zato?
Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina? Did you hear it too? Yeah, I heard it. No. What do you reckon, Toby?
Right, find the grease. Jeez Louise. Whoever's in there, open up. This is Scotland Yard. Okay. Clump, 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 clump. Clunk. The game's got very good Foley. I'm surprised I wasn't made to do it myself.
Oh my! Someone is in there!
Oh, this rotten bleeding lock! My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago, if only it were countenanced, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Just get us through that blasted door, Vic. There, you may enter at will. Whoa, you've confused minutes with seconds, I think. Like femtoseconds. Jeez Louise. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for? Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency. There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Yeah, I'm ready. Let me at him. Oh no, I see the bomb. What? What's happening here? Why is everything upside down?
Oh, rats! There ain't no one in here after all! But there must be! It was only moments ago that we heard those noises!
Excuse me. Maybe that was the sound of Trevor running away.
But there's only one door into this room.
And no windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high. I mean, I do see footprints, rather strangely, and the balloon, for reasons. Huh? What's that up there? Are they footprints? On the ceiling? Oh, blow me, what have we here then? Alright, what's all this then? Haha, he said the British Bobby thing. Yes. Well, looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry.
Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints!
To what? To that Professor Airbrain's bomb machine, is it? Blimey, if we had these, there'd have been no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There is something of great interest here, too. He's over there, like, trying to karate chop it or something. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Naruhodo.
We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation team arrive too.
Alright, let's get on it. There's probably a lot to have a look at here. Let's get straight into it.
Almost every piece of furniture is upside down.
Even Mr. Sholmes' suite isn't ever in this much of a mess.
But your desk, on the other hand,
Can you not bring up the desk now?
you're in the position.
The game? I'm like 5 steps ahead of the game, it seems.
You're in the position to comment on mess, Mr. Naruto.
But I suppose it's not quite the same thing, is it? I mean, it's not messy in here per se, it's that everything is literally upside down.
But why?
Why indeed? Big old safe. That is a very large safe. I don't suppose even Mr. Sholmes could open that lock. Although, if you were a thief, you could just steal the entire thing, I suppose.
It's bolted to the floor to prevent exactly that sort of underhand trick, Mr. Naruto.
Well then, you could just steal the floor as well, I suppose.
I'm sorry, but you really aren't making any sense at all. Anyway, I think we can agree that whatever is inside must be very important.
It is very safe in there, let's say that, yes. Right, all the furniture, ceiling footprints, let's take a look at them. I think I'm gonna leave the bomb for last because it's right in the middle and, rather much the focal point of the room, it looks like. There's no denying it, is there? They are footprints.
Yes, it would appear so. And I simply can't imagine how they came to be there.
What you don't know is we've secretly gone down the rabbit hole and we're in Wonderland actually right now. Visiting somebody's house that's been turned upside down because I thought, oh my god, that's a great idea! Let's put everything upside down and then I'll invite you over for tea or something. Come on over for a merry unbirthday party in the upside down house. It's like, yeah! Good. Isn't there a Susato shoot up or something? Like a Susato takedown, I mean.
I am no Wonder Woman, Miss Naruto.
Well, that would make her almost superhuman, I suppose. And probably 50 years a bit too early for Wonder Woman to be a thing, but... balloon! The Luftballon! That is a really lovely model. It looks just like a real flying balloon.
I think it's probably staying aloft at the same principle as a full-size balloon, using gas.
A green flying balloon? It does have the hallmarks of that amazing deception at the Great Exhibition, doesn't it? Oh, could it be? That the whole thing was planned here in this very workshop? Ooh, they planned the entire thing in here, you say? Wow, interesting. Alright, it's time to look at the bomb. Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Ah, Mr. Naruto, yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. It looks like a bundle of thick cigars right at the— Ah! Mr. Zato, what's the matter?
Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it?
What? Did you say?
Time bomb?
Sorry, but what is a time bomb exactly? You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruto, but if we don't leave in about 5 seconds, we're about to die. Alright, I won't take that as a compliment.
You don't know nothing, do you, Aldo?
You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruto. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance.
Well, thank goodness. But then, what is it?
What indeed? I see. So that's it. Huh?
Goodness. Mr. Sholmes, have you seen to the heart of the matter?
There are times when I consider my lot most unfair. But I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Mr. Zato. Oh, here we go. Here it goes. I feel a great deduction coming. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Trevor himself.
Oh, but how could you?
And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is, without question, completely genuine.
Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything.
It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Bulldog tuna wasp face again. I love this. I love this Gregson face. My god. In fact, wait, for posterity. For posterity. And find somewhere for it to go. Right, yeah, full screen. Yeah, I'm just gonna go very quickly open up Microsoft Paint and then, like I said, save this face for posterity, because I think people are going to enjoy that face. Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyway.
Oh, you've deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done.
You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this strict deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Mr. Sutter.
Oh, yes, I'd be delighted.
So, shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Ha-da-da, here comes my pose, and here comes the game is afoot. Sorry, the mouse is in the way of the thing again. The flipped furniture. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table, and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had until recently been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the floor? Every item in the room was on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that...
Indeed, the key here is gravity. Gravity! It would appear that technology here has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth. For the gravity in this room was reversed, and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness!
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Maybe not. I quite understand your skepticism, Mr. Sato. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact.
But then why does it have a clock on it?
A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier was from the other side of the door, was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. Is that right? The gravity was reversed, apparently. I'm gonna reverse the polarity. It's a Doctor Who thing. I'm gonna reverse the polarities. So we can fly out of here in a TARDIS. Now, let us consider the next conundrum, which I didn't bother to read. Oops. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there in the ceiling?
A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints in the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room, excepting the skylight, that is.
Ah.
What would that be? Whoa! Blech! Flare up. By inverting the gravity here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently into the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way.
But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen to the ceiling rather violently?
Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was concerned with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. That's why Missing Engineer. He escaped via the skylight as a result of trying to flip gravity, which I believe is impossible in this sitch. That concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. It go whoop whoop. Gregson is dumbfounded. Gina doesn't give a damn because dog. I mean, why would she? Susanna somehow is enamored. Or thinking, She is completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there is just one thing that troubles me. Namely, everything. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. Yeah, the thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean. I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. Yeah, about that. But your whole deduction hinges on it. Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. However improbable it may seem. But I mean, it's a great line, though. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had artists come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yeah, I have a feeling I've read into something that Mrs. Zara lent me once.
Objection! Objection! Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, the spell's broken at last. Took you long enough.
The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it?
Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall.
But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied up to the wall?
Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find do ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we face in this room, now skillfully unraveled. Wow, that argument is as circular as the coils of rope.
I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth.
Yeah, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. Before he escapes. Well, if you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. This time, fixed by my unwilling associate. Alright, time to turn this thing around. Turn gravity on its head, in a sense, yo. Right, plain to see this room is in complete disarray. The bed, tables, chairs, lamp, everything is upside down. almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight to the floor. Every item in the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that... Yes, indeed. The key here is gravity. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth. Yeah, right. But the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality. Oh my goodness. The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth, the part that gravity played in the whole business.
To think, gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation.
But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so...
Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once.
Ooh, that's unusually merciless of you, Mrs. Otto. Cat with the claws out, wow.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he?
While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. The inverted furniture clearly reveals the part gravity played in this whole business. No, it doesnn't. What here breaks the laws of Sholmesian gravity, huh? What indeed breaks it? What indeed? Oh! You forgot one piece of your rather interesting ploy here, your masterful gambit. Well, 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 I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, I know. That slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment. But the flowers are thriving. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say?
To be honest, Miss Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me.
Something else about it indeed. The fact that it's the only thing, bar things that are bolted to the floor, that seems to be made inverted. It's gotta be this, right?
Take that!
Boom! Take that! Somebody just clearly forgot to fully cover their tracks. The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistants here, perhaps? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes. Trust me. Ah, but as you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down, this unassuming, slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all! Oh my, my deepest sympathies for your loss.
Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes.
But the show must go on, so let us continue with our deductions. Now that we know this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Ah, quite, and naturally, there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. Which is not. He is absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he?
I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong.
Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody's turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason.
I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though.
Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. Let's look at the room. Does anything say... Aha! Number. Safe combination. Oh, look, there's something written on the underside of this armchair.
Oh, yes. Safe 432582.
Safe. Safe? As in safe and secure?
As in secure lockable box, I think.
Oh. Yeah, admittedly more likely.
Well, there is a large safe bolted to the floor of the other side of the room, so yes.
Oh, so you mean this number would let us open it?
I wonder why it's written here, though.
Man maybe had a poor memory and needed to keep the number somewhere safe, maybe. But this is why everything was overturned, because they were looking for the safe combination number.
Take that!
Boom! Take that! Let's do the correction. After I take a drink first, because it's all this talking does make one quite parched. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yeah, last year, when I bought a lottery ticket and noticed the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book, just in case. Ah, that's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart, and always make a written note of important information.
Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think.
And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? Or when the day of the drawer came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it! Poor people are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they've noted things down.
Not if you always note things down in the same place.
I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slid the ticket into, so I had to turn my room upside down. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I proved my point now. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one. Leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Gerber overturned all the furniture in here in the desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. And as it would happen, Sod's Law, it'd be in the last place that you look. But I mean, isn't that natural anyway? When you're trying to look for something and you end up finding it, it ends up being in the last place you look because you have found it in that place, so it is inevitably the last place you look because you don't need to look anymore. Think about it. Alright, let's consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we had to explain his actions is above our heads. Right. How is it possible that there are footprints up there on the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madame. I should be done in 20 minutes. Stream still going?
Yeah, stream's still going for a while, pal. Don't worry about it.
Probably like another hour or so, I'd estimate, but can't promise. But yeah, we're still going. Right, we, what were we trying to disprove? The fact that oh yeah, it's the window that we're trying to disprove here. Well,
if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get here?
Yeah, I feel as though that the particular mystery has just become even harder to solve.
I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Oh, life was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed.
It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place.
Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail.
Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place. Well, blah. Right, so we gotta disprove the skylight. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the skylight. No, they are all over the... That's interesting. Why are they all over the balloon as well? Ah. But I mean, it's gotta be the shoe, right? You put them on there and then somehow manage to find a way to reset this board back in its place, maybe. Something like that. Oh, it's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there. Look!
Oh, yes! And there are more footprints on this little balloon, too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think?
If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up there several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though?
Oh dear, that's beyond me, I'm afraid.
But it is our reason as to why there's footprints everywhere, so wabam!
Take that!
Wabam, thank you, ma'am. Take that! The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon.
But for what purpose?
A green balloon? That seems somewhat familiar, Data. Ah!
It was a piece of a green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene.
And inside the green balloon that Mr. Gott claimed he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception.
You mean to say?
If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there is a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Something an absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely, the shoe. Oh! Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights.
Oh dear. We desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside.
You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than the rope? Oh yeah, maybe not though.
Oh, Mr. Shams has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope.
Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground?
Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And could take us a very long time as well.
True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? We do? Shooting it down with the crossbow? Because it belonged to him, didn't it? Oh yeah, that's how you you'd experiment, like how if your crossbow bolts could actually damage the balloon, you'd build a model of a similar material. If he's trying to like simulate this entire affair going on, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, it's probably this then. But you know what? I haven't done for quite a while. I haven't confidence saved, just in case we're a little bit off the mark here. But I don't think in these bits here, there's no penalty for doing anything because we're not in a trial technically. But I believe you were testing with your crossbow.
Take that!
Boom! Yes, that's right. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow?
That was found at the scene, in fact.
And in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. That's the very important thing, isn't it? Yeah, sure. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? Bam! Wham bam! Thank you, ma'am. Third.
Oh, head.
Ah! What the? Waxwork? Indeed it is! A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. Medieval torture device much, Jesus! So we can't see the face inside, that means.
Just a moment. This is the head of a waxwork model? Does that mean... Oh, goodness!
I see you've joined the dots, Mr. Sato. Excellent. Oh! Oh, of course. A headless waxwork model. A case of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you'd largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tuspel's will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous Professor. Yeah.
But why is it here?
Why indeed. This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the Professor from Madame Tuspel's and returning it sans tête earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber. Oh, this is incredible! Professor Harebrain's case and the Waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. Bum-ba-da-bum-bum. Alright, the medieval torture device containing the Waxwork head found in the court record and entered. The head of the Professor Waxwork that was stolen from the Madame Tuspel's special exhibit. Maybe this was the Professor's entire shtick. He did actually wear this medieval torture device as a mask while carrying out his deeds, I guess. Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure. Updates to the Dance of Deduction theme? This is good. I'm a fan, wow.
The architect?
You mean Mr. Drebber? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights, obviously the man must still be here in the room. Safe.
What?
And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction. Enoch Drebber is right here, somewhere in this room? So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be the safe. Let's examine first. He is absolutely safe, you would say. Look at all that mess in front of the safe.
Yes. Plans and accounting ledgers?
Almost as if somebody was in a hurry to empty the contents of the safe, in fact. So they could hide in it.
Take that!
Boom. Take F that. But before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here. Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe. And pressed for time, made no attempt to wreck the furniture that he'd overturned in the process. From which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber is, at this very moment, inside the safe. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Is inside the safe. Never missing at all, just trying to hide himself, the poor bean. Elementary. We are like, we did it. So, Mr. Naruhodo. He took notes from the movie Saw. Oh goodness! Oh, that's not like 100 years until time. But my God, yo, Jesus. Well, that's a thought spoken. But wow, I've actually never seen a Saw movie. To be fair, it's just like that kind of like slasher horror is just kind of never been my cup of tea. But of course, I'm aware of the concept of the Saw movies. But yeah. There's a theme park ride for it in one of the UK theme parks that's in my home country, but yeah, never got the chance to ride it. Was either too young or too afraid of coasters at the time. I could probably handle it nowadays, because since that time I've gone on a lot of roller coasters and sort of gotten over that fear, which I'm very proud of. But yeah, I never had a chance to ride that ride. And obviously, never saw the movies. Just not my cup of tea, really. I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you? How you doing, Speckham, by the way? Lovely to see you again. Oh, by understanding this, by opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see. The combination was 1
432 582.
Oh, I knew that. I didn't know that. All right then, here it goes. 432424143. That is a Ogg and Hutch reference. Oh! Oh, you found me. He's a droidica! Careful, he's Star Wars. He's actually moving like a droidica. Careful, he's gonna shoot at us. Master! Destroyer! Jesus. Oh. Okay. Oh god, you know what I remember? Oh god! I'm pretty sure, like, I've seen a show of that kind of performance art before. My goodness. Did they mocap that? If they mocapped that, that is incredible. Probably like choose to edit it a bit of a way to make it a bit more robotic than a human might be able to do. But if they mocap that, Jesus. That was cool. And the theme is off as well, my Jesus. This is great. Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume? Correct. My god, his arm as well. You better start talking! You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built!
And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Dispels as well!
Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. Deactivate?
Your parcel?
I defer, of course. To the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position.
Ah!
Ha ha ha. I see. Stunned silence. Oh hey, it's that guy! You're all gearing up to die with me, then.
No! Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare.
Is he by any chance related to the killer? Who knows? If they tie it to him, then by God, that'll be something. But yeah, we'll wait and see in that, friends. Oh, that was too close for comfort. I've got one foot in the grave already. My heart is gonna drag my second one in there if I'm not careful. Are you trying to help us get us killer or get us killed?
Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist!
Woo, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Do not get on Madame's wrong side. Damn.
Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock.
Interesting. I wonder if there is evidence to present unto him to get him to squeal more. Would you be interested in your crossbow back, perhaps? Mr. Drebber, look at this, please. Do you, have anything to say about it? No, it is very possible that is just entirely mocapped. Because I've seen, like, people, like, do dance performances, like, they're, like, robot stuffs, and it looks pretty much kind of like this. The head sort of jerky head movements, too, where the neck goes. Oh, I absolutely see that. Unless what they did instead is, wire up a mannequin to a mocap suit. No, wire up like an audio animatronic to a mocap suit somehow. But no, I think the performer behind this is very good at doing this kind of dance performance, which is, yo, it's so cool looking. Are these strange mechanical movements supposed to be some sort of answer? Right, I don't think we're getting anything out of him. Shall we try talking instead then? Just get talking. What happened here? As I said, what on earth happened here? You've found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, well, we'll be giving it a thorough going over, don't you worry, Drebber. Oh, I was about to say even the hand movements could be syncing up to the beat of the music, but it's just slightly out. Just slightly a bit fast for the music, which could have been a really cool detail to put in. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt.
Whistling?
Ah, that would have been me.
Oh!
For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today. Joa. No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly, I must have a screw loose though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. We also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly, the rope was too short. So, I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe. And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. That you did. And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe? Having first set this parcel ticking? Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. Wow. So about it then. Why on earth would you be such a miscreant? That's fine. Got a death wish, have you? Hiding by right beside a ticking time bomb? Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It was gonna do an Indiana Jones. I was realized what it was in Yeah, my exact thought, Palfia. It's Indiana Jones in the fridge all over again. Yeah, it was a fridge in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, not a safe. But the principle still stands. And in Indiana Jones's case, it wasn't just a bomb, it was a full-on nuke. One brain cell. Palthea, give it back. You've had it long enough. It's fine. It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it. Yeah, it absolutely would not work. I think... Wasn't there a Mythbusters episode that dealt with that kind of thing? Or at least tried to, like, replicate it as closely as possible? I could be mistaken. I think some kind of, like, science-y based show or documentary tried to look into that kind of thing and sort of disproved it. I think? It might have been Mythbusters. Something like that. So, in fact, the safe was the only safe place. Precisely.
But once you'd climbed inside the safe, you wouldn't have been able to get out again.
I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. Oh, so it is! I had always intended to blow this place to smithers in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans. Why is there a handle? Well, you heard it from his horse's mouth. As soon as the deed was done, he'd be able to get out scot-free and be like, yep, time to scarper now. Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up? No, that was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. Ah. I calculated the time required to retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discoursing here threw a spanner in the works. Coldest stare in the world thrown out there. Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? Is it a custom-made safe? Because otherwise I have questions for the person who had the foresight to put a handle in there. Well... It's Ace Attorney, don't worry about it. That's all I can say to you. I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. This also reminds me of an I Am Legend scene. Oh god, that movie, I'm trying to remember. Wow. Can't remember. I know we had the dog, and we were upset about the dog. Definitely. But what about the 2 incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition? And the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. I know I mentioned it. Hey, I am too, don't worry about it. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the Professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all, that's enough. Ooh, we will come back to this, actually, but it's time to run a break now, so we'll come back to this after we do that. Twitch people, it's time for you to rest up if you need to as well, but people in YouTube land, there will be no break. If you want to pause the video, though, that's always a great idea to do if you want to take care of some things right now, and we will be back when you are ready to come back. I'll see you in a few. Hey, welcome on back to the show. It's going to be our last little portion of the stream of the video as we do some more of Great Ace Attorney 2 for Great Ace Attorney's 10th. Yes, today, Wednesday, July 9th, as of course, is the 10th anniversary of the Japanese release of the game initially back in July 9th, 2015. And yeah, since then, I've become very normal about its series over the past few months. Definitely enjoying it still. So let's do our last part of today. We have just had Miss Scythe butt in again. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here. Yes, well, Dr. Scythe again. So the forensic investigation team are here. And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. Oh. You lot, leave at once. My dear madam, there is no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe? Hello, Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe? If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell, you... Get out! But of course, we'll show ourselves a door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Sholmes! Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. Duh! I said, get out! Now! All of you! Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. Understood. But I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There was a time bomb set in here that this lot disarmed. Inspector! He's going to bat for us, the good man! Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Drebber? Ah, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes. You did disarm that one.
What? That one? You mean?
All I got for that is...
Oh no!
Oh goodness. It was an hour later that we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage of the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. Well, poop. Oh, I otherwise would love to call it that, but we've only had like a little bit. We'll do just a smidge more of this. A smidgen more of this. Let's have a look, shall we? Make a save. Do we do... Oh, it's time for the try... Oh my god, right afterwards? Freaking hellfire. Yeah, we shall at least make a start to this. I think it'll make sense.
Ooh, that had to hurt.
That had to hurt everybody's soul. Yes, indeed, Palthea. The 24th of October at 9:11 AM, the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Oh, good morning to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings? Oof. Oh, I hope so. I should be. Even I, with nothing left to... Oh, good morning, my dear fellows. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're here. Why, naturally. A true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle at all times. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll... see you later, then. Now, Professor. We really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today.
Yes. Do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again.
Yeah, I realize it was a mistake, but my dear fellows, I must interject. Oh, you're still here, Mr. Sholmes. What's the matter? Surely you've overlooked some praise, have you not? To be cast in my direction? Sorry, I don't follow. Must I spell it out? I, the great Herlock Sholmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclamation, arose at some ungodly hour to be here now, first thing in the morning. A miracle, you must agree. Well, if I must agree, then... Well done! As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. Iris had to employ her full gamut of tactics. She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched me, and kicked me from the bed. Right in the gonads, I must say. It was bloody painful. And then she discombobulated me, like I did in that one movie, Discombobulate. Like that. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend on my face, and at last I was bestirred.
Oh my! Iris has been busy.
Iris doesn't have anything to go that far. No, she's too nice. Oh, you have misgivings, Naruhodo. She is still 10 years old. Oh, I sense the spirit of a fellow scientist. One who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory. Sorry to cut in. Sorry to cut in. Oh, Inspector Gregson. Oh, good morning. Gregson, my dear fellow. Why the grim expression at this delightfully early hour? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grimmer expression, eh? Dear me. Are you going to take an insult lying down, Professor? Was? I don't know. Ich versteh's nicht. Poor Anyway, here's the paperwork you asked for. Top secrets. What paperwork? Oh, I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful. You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this brought out of the archives. It's the professor's autopsy report.
That mass murderers?
Who killed 5 members of the aristocracy? That right. He was found guilty in a closed trial 10 years ago now. It was all done under wraps. And he was quickly executed soon after the trial. It's all in here. Killer's autopsy report entered into the record. The autopsy report for the mass murderer known as the Professor, who was tried and found guilty by closed trial 10 years ago. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Inspector. Yes, much obliged, Gregson. Us lowly lot at the yard are just doing what we can. In the shadow of the great detective Sholmes, of course. /S. Well then, Professor Harebrain, this is it. Today, we're gonna lay this all to rest at last.
I wish you the best of luck, Professor.
I suppose he'll be there today, will he? Trevor!
Yes. We expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness.
I'm still amazed that you managed to find him in just one day. I really owe you both so much. Counsel and the defendant, their trial is about to resume. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Is done. This is it then. The final chapter. Funny, my heart's racing a little. I've not felt this before, actually. This strange foreboding. As if something's gonna happen in this trial that I'm not ready for. But I can't let that distract me from the only thing that really matters. Finding the truth. And I otherwise would say we're going to call it here, but again, I want to do just a tad more so I'm warmed up into the courtroom scene and know what we're getting in for when we resume this in our next one. So let's do it just a tick more. And special episode. It's the 10th anniversary. I want to play some more of this. It's great. Don't worry about it. 25th of October at 9:30 AM. The Old Bailey courtroom. Second day of the trial. Look! The apprentice. Always two there are, no more, no less, a master and an apprentice. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the public hearing of Albert Harebrain, here present, who stands accused of murder. Are the counsels for the prosecution and defense ready to proceed? The prosecution is ready, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. As promised, Lord Van Zieks has his apprentice with him. His apprentice with memory loss. If I may, Lord Van Zieks. It's about to miss most of it today, but you'll watch it on YouTube when it releases. I got too many streams to catch up on, and it just too much to watch in too little time. I appreciate it. Yes, my lord. There appears to be someone standing at your side. Yes. My apprentice and assistant. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably. "99.99% confirmed." And the way he sheaths it as well. See, Cosimo was already well versed in the sword play. He had the katana. And that is a new way to do it with him. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, we're still gonna wait for the game to name drop it, but yeah, 99.99% there. That is totally Kazuma. 99.99% sure of it now. I therefore instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of the trial. And the smooth running of the refreshments by the looks of it. With swordplay, I think I've oddly seen before.
The way he holds himself. The way he moves. It couldn't be anyone else.
But he's still suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we can do at the moment.
I know, but... Oh, this is so very hard.
It would be hilarious if it's just a red herring. I don't think they're gonna pull that on this, but I see where you're coming from. Yeah. It would appear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the demands of the court made yesterday. I understand you have successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene on the day in question. Yes, my lord. I intend to call him as a witness shortly. Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random, allegedly, to represent the will of the people in the courtroom today, are you ready and willing to proceed? Of course, my lord. I'm sure we all understand the importance of doing our civic duty.
I do so despise deception and deceit. I find it so very wearing.
To take a man's life is a conjuring trick. It is against the magician's code, not to mention the law. Any fake scientist should feel the wrath of God, if you ask me.
We have to listen to what's said on both sides of the fence and sitting on one. That's it, isn't it?
I don't like this, Mandy. Wasn't like this at all. If all parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Zeeks. Before I do, my lord, there is a report I must read to the court. Yesterday, at the Great Exhibition Grounds, the evidence of primary importance in this case, the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine, which was installed on the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion effected by an unknown person or persons. It was what? Explosion! This is an outrage! Yikes. Ooh, yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard was submitted a report to my office in the evening. I read that the machine was blasted to smithers, and the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames. I have here a photographic print of the scene taken in the wake of the explosion. It shows what little remains of the machine. Yes. A terrible business. With a trapdoor open, I noticed. He did it to destroy the evidence, didn't he?
That's Enoch Drebber.
A court will take this print as evidence, counsel. A photographic print of the experimentation stage after it was completely leveled by a time bomb. The metal floor of the stage has been blown open by the explosion. It's not a red herring, this is AA after all. This is just a regular guy called Reed Haring. Yeah. Like red with 2 Ds, although that would probably be a bit too close to red-white, I think, from original Ace Attorney. We'll see. We'll see when we get around to playing that game, actually. Late yesterday afternoon, the protection afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. Why is that always such a mouthful for me to say? I've got to be very careful when I say that. The protection afforded to the machine by said act was revoked. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. As such, this will become a very different trial. Will it indeed? As it stands now, with no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions, the authenticity of the kinesis machine will remain forever in obscurity. Indeed. A most unfortunate state of affairs. However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was the result of the actions of the accused. Of that, we can be certain. For it was the accused himself who was operating the machine, and who ultimately caused its loss of control.
Objection!
Objection! As Lord Van Six rightly says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Assman died as a result of the accident caused by his machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters. Calling it now at some point, they'll say something like, "It seems your time balance and nothing but blew this case wide open." I give you points for that, Palfield. That's actually very good. Names, Counsel, if you please. The engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Assman. So what exactly were these two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defendant intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant. Thank you, counsels. The positions of the prosecution and defense have been clearly stated. Lord Van Six, summon your first witness, please. At once, my lord. The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to the stand. Is Robot Man. State your name and occupation for the court. Name, Enoch Drebber. Occupation. Hard to pin down, I would say.
See that black monocle? Oh yeah, why do I feel as though I've seen it somewhere before?
Oh, you too?
I had exactly the same feeling myself.
Eh? Your file indicates that you are currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a waxwork model, is it? A most extraordinary sounding business. But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Cleave it from your mind. You're familiar with the public experiment carried out at the Great Exhibition some days ago? The accused super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration. Yes, you could say that. I am aware of it. There was a terrible accident, wasn't there? It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine used in the experiment. Or so our investigations indicate. Can you confirm your involvement? Yes, I constructed it, in precise accordance with the blueprints, but that's all. Then the court would be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I am sure. That hand movement he does there as well. That had to be very, very hard to get mocapped in. But it looks cool. An amazing device, if you ask me. The pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last. What?
Gracious! Do you mean to say that the experiment was bona fide? Is that your belief, sir?
Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste that it blew up.
Objection!
Objection! But we've already established the machine was nothing more than a prop for an elaborate conjuring trick.
Objection!
Objection! You've established nothing of the sort. All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced by means of stage trickery. The defense merely proposed a method and demonstrated its feasibility, nothing more. But...
We've procrastinated long enough, I feel. Witness, you will now give your formal testimony about the machine that you constructed for the purpose of the demonstration at the Great Exhibition.
There are these hot and spicy crisps I bought taste like the only seasoning they got was that they left it in the proximity of the room with a tomato in it. As in they're not really hot and spicy, or I thought it was going to be like the proximity of a room with a freaking volcano in it or something. Wow. So yeah, I guess you're meaning to say that they are not really hot and spicy at all. It tends to be like you get a bit of a pick and mix, different look with different kinds of hot and spices. Like some people will do it like up the absolute wazoo by using like actual like very very spicy chili pepper extracts and such. But then other ones are just like yeah, tomato is spicy enough. Go ahead, you know, like that. Yeah, everybody's got a different thing. They don't taste like anything but a faint whiff of a tomato. Probably that weird tomato ketchup flavor that they made. Anyway, understood. Should we give it some time for the next bit? I think we'll find. Oh, I'm in sort of two minds here because I could keep going, but then risk losing bedtime. But at the same time, this is special. We are doing this as the 10th anniversary episode for the series, so I'm gonna regret this, but we're gonna go some more. The Kinesis Machine, testimony time. I met the young professor approximately 1 year ago through Mr. Assman's introduction. He provided me with the blueprints and I constructed the machine to his precise specifications. It was no trick. If the whole show was a fraud, it would have required a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads and then crash headfirst into the crystal tower. A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow. Make sure you take care of yourself first and foremost. I'll be okay, I've done far worse. A body double? That goes without saying, surely. To give the impression that something had moved when in reality it hasn't. It's a basic conjuring principle. Deception cannot be achieved without substituting the original with a fake at some point in the performance. But would I be right in saying you haven't managed to establish anything along those lines? Incidentally, the prosecution has already confirmed that Mr. Assman had no twin siblings. It's my understanding that this witness is well versed in conjuring artfulness. But such talents do not indicate that he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what, by all accounts, must have been an extremely complex scientific machine. Whatever do you mean? Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Drebber. Indeed it did, my lord. As a swindler who preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring know-how. Yes, it's true that I possess considerable knowledge of stage magic. But crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that of any academic in the field. Investigating of the witness's workshop attests to that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this Royal Society trophy for young talent in science there.
Yes, that's true. We spotted it there ourselves.
If a hypothesis is sound, it can always be forged into a physical manifestation with sufficient skill. Though I may have solved the secrets of some deceptive wiles to sniveling, talentless scientists in the past. Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was an unfortunate accident, or, of course, a deliberate act of murder carried out by misuse of the science? Woof! Counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please! Yes, my lord. Right, we'll at least get this cross-examination out of the way and then find ourselves at a point where we may be able to pause it and go from there. Alright. It's cross-examining time! And that means, unless I can, like, figure it out immediately... Did the victim this way? I think it's something to do with this, in all honesty, because we have found the evidence of the whole, like, mannequin business. Which your experiments in your now which your experiments in your lab actually kind of, sort of alluded this to, but yeah. I think we should stay if we press everything and get all the information we can.
Hold it!
Hold it! So you were already acquainted with Mr. Assman himself? Not really. By chance, I'd seen his name mentioned in the papers, that's all. But I had no interest in his private affairs. If he was an unscrupulous investor, it was no concern of mine. As long as people pay their bills, I take up my tools and construct what they ask for. So why did Mr. Assman approach you in particular then? Who can say? I presume because my name is associated with excellence in engineering. Not to mention excellence in fraud. Inosuke, drop in those fire takes! Hard to gauge, but the point is, all I did was construct the machine according to the blueprints I was given. In other words, the Kinesis machine was built on solid scientific principles.
Oh, Cookie Dan! Thank you for following. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining into the stream. If it's your first time here, I presume, nice to see you. And I hope you enjoy your time here. We'll have a little bit more going today, as I say. So yeah, please sit back and enjoy, or feel free to let me know how you are doing right now if you'd like to, but no pressure to do that if that is not your thing. You can sit back, relax, and enjoy all the same. No problem at all. Thank you so much. Yes, you might say that. Professor Hairbrain certainly has a mind like no other. Okay, to precise specifications. No trick in that one.
Hold it!
Okay, hold it. It's clear that you have both scientific knowledge and knowledge of conjuring magic, however. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes along. But your implication is that I furnish the machine with some trickery, I think. It's a possibility that we have to explore. Unfortunately, though, the machine has been blown to Kingdom Come. So there's really nothing left to explore, is there? It appears that the Kinesis machine was fitted with a timed explosive device of some kind. And there's nothing left of that device either. Not a single shred of evidence remaining, I hear. He must have planned all this from the outset. But in any case, it's abundantly clear that the experiment couldn't have been a trick. Okay, based entirely on the need of a body double, but would you like to elaborate on that? Based on what we might have a theory of? Of course! That's it! Mr. Assman was a twin!
Objection!
Objection! Perhaps my learned friend wasn't listening earlier. Mr. Assman has no twin siblings. No, I heard you before. But the thread of hope hadn't quite left me. Oh, chat, do you know what I've just realized? Do you know what I realized what this could be? What I realized this could be? If we're allowed to read this. Condemned prisoner, redacted name for confidentiality, pseudonym of the professor. Death by hanging, confirmed at midnight, 17th of June. Do you know what I think's gonna go on here? Long-lost relative of Mr. Assman, who had very similar facial structures. Which would have been a perfect foil for them to then grab the what is it, from the waxwork from the thing to then use as said body double during everything. I think this is going to come into play. Yo. Anyway, read that.
Well, the demonstration could have been a trick if there was somebody who looked sufficiently like the victim. But Dr. Scythe absolutely ruled that out as a possibility.
It is beyond question that the victim himself, Mr. Assman, did move from the stage to the Crystal Tower. The fingerprints found at the scene attest to the fact.
So it can't be orchestrated using someone who looks identical to Mr. Assman, then? What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, no, nothing. Just that the idea of someone who looks identical to the victim is playing on my mind. The idea of which is a very plausible idea, I think. But let's press on everything else and get the rest of the flavor text. Hold it! It crashed head first, you say? According to the many witnesses' reports from those there at the time. Yes, I'm breaking. Don't worry about it. I thought more about a wax figure, though admittedly I must assume that for meta reasons. I see why. Yeah, don't say anything. Don't say anything more than that. But we have sort of the same idea, I think. Were you not there at the exhibition grounds on that day? Unlikely. I rarely leave my workshop. Ah, good old Hikikomori. Yet another one of your unique inventions was found at the scene. Well, it was the unveiling of a machine I'd labored over for many months. I saw it clearly with my own eyes, the birdcage plummeting headfirst into the tower. What a surprise. I believe the victim's neck was broken from the headlong fall, wasn't it? How would you have come by that information? Even an infernal recluse like me reads in newspapers, you know. According to the reports, 2 injuries were apparent on the victim's body. Yeah, he'd been stabbed in the chest by a screwdriver believed to belong to the defendant, and he had broken vertebrae as a result of a fall from a considerable height. Correct. My learned friend has been doing research, it seems. Well, do we know which injury was the fatal one? Sadly not. Forensic science is not yet at a level where such things can be determined. What we do know is that the victim died having sustained both injuries at some point during the experiment. And since he was found in the birdcage with his neck broken, it's obvious that he fell from a considerable height. Well, I suppose that's hard to deny. Alright, nothing to see in that one, I see. Could also be just your regular body double. I myself ran into someone with the same face as me some 15 years ago. No relation to them at all. Yeah, well, it's... Sometimes long-distance lineages have the same sort of, can have, like, very similar facial features just from, you know, all the ways back when. And that's how we pass on our genes. That's how genes work.
Hold it!
Not the Denon gene kind, but the inside your body DNA kind of genes, you know. You know what I mean. Anyway, last press. Hold it! I was just having a drink. So, you went into the science, did you? Not in the slightest. Oh, right. As I've said a number of times, I'm an engineer. My job is to manufacture according to the blueprints I'm given. I would be inviting manifold problems if I foolishly allowed my brain to digest the ideas behind them. I could be accused of stealing those ideas, for example. But how is it possible to construct a machine without really understanding the principles it relies on? The movements are mesmerizing in all honesty. Well, you're practicing lore without really understanding the principles it relies on, aren't you? That was my sick burn. I just initiated it. Do you need a burn heal? Ah, a very good point.
Stand up for yourself, Mr. Naruhodo!
The point is, the experiment resulted in instantaneous kinesis taking place. As such, the science must be sound. In your puny late 1800s brains, maybe, yes. And really, experimental results are all that matters when it comes to proving a hypothesis. He's certainly very sure of himself.
What do you think, Ms. Naruhodo?
Well, now that the machine has been completely destroyed by yesterday's explosion, it's gonna be impossible to argue its authenticity one way or the other.
But if Warren's able to establish that it was a piece of stage trickery, rather than genuine science, you will have no grounds on which to demonstrate Professor Harebrain's innocence.
Both Mr. Aspen and this man in the stand tricked the professor and used him. They took advantage of his naivety and his unbending belief in his work, and I won't let him get away with it. And seeing as the professor is an old friend of Lord Van Zeek's, what on earth must he be feeling towards Trevor? What on earth indeed? So we get no extra bits and bops of evidence, alter testimony from that one. That's fine. So yeah, I'm thinking it's still back to this one. So we gotta find our evidence. But that we do, our confidence save. Because we are confident. We are confident, don't worry about it. Did the victim have a twin? Maybe not that. But if I'm going with my theory on trying to prove it by the fact of a waxwork head being, like, moved and placed and such, what would be the evidence that I'd use to refute this with? Is there the look of anything on the photo? Only the evidence that the trapdoor would have been a mechanism that they'd use to, like, do a very quick bait and switch, if needs be. I don't think there's anything in that. Evidence of that. I would say, can we... Yeah, we haven't examined the head, actually, have we? If we can examine it. Okay, yes, the head is very well hidden, but there is a lock for this. Oh wait, there's a latch as well. Which doesn't make a difference. It's fine. So this lock does look very strong, doesn't it? There's definitely no way you could remove the mask yourself if it was put on you.
What a terrible way to treat someone, even a convicted criminal.
I know, it's starting to make me livid, actually.
Mr. Naruhodo, please.
I mean, just think about it. Imagine if you had an itch on your cheek all of a sudden. You'd be utterly helpless.
Well, yes, that's true. But I'm not sure that warrants quite so much anger.
Oh, right. Sorry, got ahead of myself there. You know what it reminds me of, actually? Doctor Doom, Fantastic Four. Reminds me of that a bit of a way. Okay, nothing obvious there. We checked inside the camera and it revealed there's blood on the inside. Or what looks like blood on the inside. And we've already had a look at that. Yes, 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 yes. They stole the print at the back, or it wasn't found. I thought the man in the iron mask. I mean, it could be like the very first like iteration of like of the Iron Man suit from the first Iron Man movie. Let's be honest. The first Marvel Iron Man movie, by the way. So yeah. Checked all the news. Yeah, it must be in one of the new pieces of evidence. I don't know. Is this proof enough that the waxworks could have been used as sufficient body doubles? Is this proof enough?
Objection!
It is not. I see. It is not. I understand. I see. Would be ultimately evidence. Yeah. I am allowed to read all. I am allowed my confidence save. Shush. It's fine. This game allows you to do it, so it's a special game. It's 10th anniversary, you know. That too, but I mean the French folklore figure. Oh, that I'm not aware of. Or haven't been aware of. Maybe I didn't remember it. Anyway. I constructed the machine to its precise specifications. There was no trick. Met approximately a year ago. All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads and then crash headfirst into the tower. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed. I don't know, actually. Lots of media's been created about the man in the iron mask. Probably only like French-centric, so that's probably why I haven't heard of it too much. Let's be honest. Even the OG DuckTales in the episode was like, oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Let's take a look at everything again. Oh, hang on, there it is! Hang on a minute, yeah, there it is, isn't it? You said it crashed head first. But no damage to the top where the head rest is. All the damage is where the feet would be. It's on the bottom. So it wasn't head first. It's this we've got to. It's this we've got to say. Okay, got it.
Objection!
Hello!
All right, objection, sir. We've examined the birdcage that crashed into the crystal tower ourselves. As you can see, the cage, which is a wooden construction, has sustained damage in one particular spot. Following the explosion, it fell some 30 feet into the glass of the crystal tower. That level of damage is to be expected, surely. Somewhat French-centric, but since it's often connected to the Three Musketeers, there's a good chance you might have heard of it at some point if you don't remember. Possibly! But then again, I actually didn't have many Three Musketeers stories in my youth, honestly. Probably had the one with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, but that's it. I agree. The damage itself is entirely understandable. What doesn't make sense is the location of that damage. Does not compute. All the breakages in the wood are at the base of the birdcage, not the top. Oh, what are you saying? That's the opposite of where they should be. Damn. That's right, my lord. The birdcage was at the scene. That was at the scene is damaged at its base. So we have reports of the birdcage falling headlong into the crystal tower, yet the damage is at the bottom. The only way to reconcile these two facts is to accept that there were two birdcages in play that day, which were at some point switched. Switched during what wasn't a scientific experiment at all, but an elaborate piece of stage trickery. I imagine it doesn't scream that loud because of its mechanical nature.
Good gracious, explain yourself, witness.
Well, if we examine the facts, there's only one logical conclusion we can draw. The damage on the base of the birdcage clearly indicates that it crashed tail first into the tower.
Objection!
Objection! But multiple witnesses claim it fell head first. The birdcage materialized in the sky next to a balloon flying over the stage, following a spontaneous explosion, at an altitude of some 60 feet above ground level.
Which is approximately 18 meters.
We needed to know the information, huh? It then proceeded to fall some 30 feet into the crystal tower in the ensuing deflagration. Witness reports amid such chaos are notoriously unreliable.
Objection!
Objection! But the victim's neck was broken.
Objection!
Objection! He plummeted 30 feet inside a heavy wooden cage. However he fell, it would be unsurprising to find one or two of his vertebrae crushed. A riveting scientific analysis of events from the prosecution there. Though to be even more rigorous, you would have to say it was only one vertebrae, actually. Duh! Ooh. His theme tune's back. Oh my gosh, he wasn't quiet for long.
I find it hard to see what's motivating Lord Van Zieks. This witness is clearly a swindler, and one who deceived a personal friend of his.
If you're going to establish this deception, do it right.
Sorry?
I feel like that's the undertone here. Ah, yes. And there's one more point. The defense appears to have forgotten. It obviously wasn't a trick, as a certain truth very plainly demonstrates. What? It seems to me that the cross-examination had better continue until we resolve this matter. Mr. Drebber, you will amend your testimony with the details of this truth. If you ever get a chance and decide to do so, the DuckTales episode is number 56.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Of course, we must treat the matter scientifically, after all.
Ah, I nearly had him there.
Just let him do one round movement there. The kinesis clearly took place because there's nowhere else 30 feet high for the birdcage to have fallen from. I think I might know immediately how to counter that, but I will let you do flavor text first. Hold it! What do you mean? Well, before the demonstration began, the victim was alive on stage in front of the audience. Yeah, there are lots of witnesses who saw Mr. Assman on the experimentation stage, that's true. And the victim's neck broke as a result of an impact following a fall. Logically, therefore, the victim must have fallen from somewhere. The balloon that exploded was at an altitude of 60 feet. The point of impact on the tower was 30 feet up. That difference of 30 feet is therefore the total distance this birdcage fell. And there's no other location from which the cage could have fallen that distance if it didn't drop out of the sky. Ergo, the victim himself must have been beamed from the stage into the sky above the crystal tower.
A trenchant scientific analysis. Dear me, every time I hear it explained, it sounds increasingly plausible.
Oh yes, it's all very well thought out.
No, certainly all the spectators in the day saw it. The birdcage plummeting 30 feet through the air, I mean.
Irritatingly, yes.
Because there's nowhere else 30 feet high for the birdcage to have fallen from. Oh wait, I didn't mean to press it again. Damn it. But anyway, we'll take a look at here while we've got Mr. Man dancing his robot dance at the back here. But I believe, because this was up on the stage, quite up high, wasn't it? This might have been 30 feet of distance to fall after being released from the trapdoor. That's my thinking. But I've got to, like, zoom for all this again, because I didn't mean to press it a second time. Oops. That was me that did that. It's all way well thought out. So, yeah, this birdcage didn't plummet through the air. It plummeted from the stage itself out of the trapdoor that protrudes underneath, which cannot be evidence that... which was evidence that could not be destroyed by that explosion, it seems, that happened there. So, confidence save first, just to be sure, but I believe it's this that we need to press against. That is my thinking. That's gotta be 30 feet of distance to fall down somehow, and it's gotta be through this.
Objection!
Oh no! Okay, shoot. Alright. Alright, then we're gonna turn this train of thought around then. Oh wait, did I press in the wrong... I might have pressed in the wrong statement, actually, to be fair with you. Right, let's try that again.
Objection!
No? I mean, clearly it's not at odds, because it's gonna be the wrong answer. The music didn't stop. There's nowhere else 30 feet high for the birdcage to have fallen from. So, yeah, you've changed that, so it must mean that I got a piece of evidence that refutes that. Oh, this photo for the balloon, maybe? Mayhaps? Because it might have been inside the balloon when it was done. Let's try that.
Objection!
Shoot. I'm going a bit... My thinking might be a bit off here. Clearly it is, actually. Oops. What would it be? So what would it be, then? The kinesis clearly took place because there's nowhere else 30 feet high for the birdcage to have fallen from. What else could... Okay, what else could demonstrate 30 feet of distance? What else actually properly does that? If it wasn't that, if it wasn't the birdcage... Just hearing his mechanical, like, sounds every time he does a movement behind me is just, like, honestly weird to have a listen to. Are we doubly like 100% certain about this one? Because our press hasn't got the information out of it. I'm making definitely sure I'm on the right testimony to this from. Or is it the fact that I need to demonstrate that this is also about like 30 feet of distance from the from this piece of evidence instead? I had the right idea, but the game didn't understand correctly. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong piece of testimony. I think I've got to disprove it with the experiment sketch because it shows, you see, that the machine on the plinth and the crystal tower's ledge here is roughly the same distance. Roughly the same distance, about 30 feet, so maybe I show it like this instead. Let's go for it.
Objection!
Okay, I had to do it by the diagram instead rather than the photo. Because honestly, yeah, the photo could be misconstrued as to show like what exactly you're showing us exactly. Whereas this is a more clearer rendition of that. So okay, I see it now. I see it. So this is a diagram of the experimentation stage and its surroundings. We know that somehow the birdcage appeared in mid-air before falling down into the crystal tower. Third, a fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters. However, if you examine the diagram carefully, you'll see that there is one other possible location from which the birdcage could have fallen the same distance of 30 feet. No! Oh, yes. Well, it appears the defense has a possible explanation to put forward. Go ahead, counsel. Let's bring my voice back quick, sorry. Yes, my lord, of course. You will indicate the place to which you are referring to on this same diagram. The alternative location from which the birdcage could possibly have fallen the requisite 30 feet. From right here, doy. Boom.
Take that!
There you go. The place I'm referring to is here. But that's where the birdcage would have been to begin with. Which is exactly the point, my lord. Yes, the birdcage was in the machine on the stage. But what we must also consider is the height of the stage itself. Oh, go on, counsel. It turns out that the experimentation stage was built at a considerable height above ground level. If you look at the diagram, in fact, you'll see it's at about the same height above the ground as the balloon was above the crash site. Oh, believe it, sir. Yes. When the experiment got underway, the machine and the birdcage were engulfed in steam. At that moment, the floor of the stage gave way, and if we assume there to be a void underneath, this birdcage and the one seen by the audience would have fallen almost exactly the same distance. Once again, my lord, this all points to the fact that there was not one birdcage, but two!
Objection!
Objection! My learned friend has no evidence that the stage had such a contrivance in its design. Someone is responsible for the criminal destruction of the kinesis machine itself, it's true. However, the stage still stands. And take a moment to look at the photographic print of the scene following yesterday's explosion. There's still a trapdoor, doy. Good lord! The metal grill that formed the floor of the machine is undone! Yes, most likely blown open by the force of the explosion that destroyed the rest of the machine. The defense calls for the space below the stage to be investigated. Immediately! Mr. Drebber. Duh. It was you who built the kinesis machine, which means that it was you who built the two birdcages that we used to carry out this deception. Whether Professor Harebrain's hypothesis is sound or not makes no difference, because it's the construction of this machine that matters. A machine designed to take Mr. Assman's life and lay the blame firmly at the professor's door. Something that can only have been carried out by you, Mr. Enoch Drebber. He broke.
Objection!
Objection! Thank you. Your swordplay is impeccable. If my learned friend has reached the end of his wild assertions... Oh, come on, you literally just popped that glass for crying out loud, Barrack! Oh, man. The prosecution would like to crush the defense's argument slowly, but surely. What? Your argument fails to hold water. Sorry, I just read Fran's comment. Someone still got hit with the cork. Just like, oh god, my eyes! So someone gets a piece of glass in. Someone gets a piece of glass in by Barrack throwing a wine bottle behind into the gallery with a freaking shard of glass in the leg. I imagine like tiny pieces of glass from the chalice breaking in his hand would like fly everywhere, possibly end up, you know, stuck down someone's throat. And then, yeah, that cork ends up in someone's eye for sure. Oh my god. It's not even supposed to be a link. It kind of just does that. If it's like dot something in between, it will assume. Particularly because EXE is like an extension. So it might assume. I guess that's what Twitch chat is doing. It's weird sometimes. Don't worry about it. Your argument fails to hold water on 2 counts. 2? Firstly, before and after the experiment, this witness went nowhere near the kinesis machine. Every relevant member of staff from the exhibition has attested to that. And I believe members of Scotland Yard have also been on watch duty at every public experiment. In other words, Mr. Drebber had no opportunity to switch the alleged pair of bird cages.
Objection!
Objection! But I've already explained why he wouldn't have needed to. The nonsense with the crossbow. That doesn't bolster your case at all. The man who disappeared from the stage and the man who crashed into the tower are one and the same. Wow, 2? I can't even count that high. No, seriously, is that after 11E4? The forensic investigation team's report is unequivocal on that point. Ah! And the second flaw in your assertion is a distinct lack of motive. Why would this man have wanted to take the victim's life? He had no reason to do so. A motive? Oh, do I have to think of everything myself? You are the defense of an ace attorney game. Of course you do. I have here a contract provided by the witness. What contract is this, Lord Van Geeks? The contract into which Mr. Drebber entered with the victim, Mr. Assman. It reads, Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from government grants or other income. 30%? Certainly very favorable contractual conditions. But there was one very important provision bolted onto that clause. What provision? Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right on condition that both contracting parties are alive. In other words, if either of us were to die, the contract would become null and void. So you see, I had nothing to gain from Mr. Assman's death. The diametric opposite, in fact. Need I say more? The witness had neither an opportunity nor a reason to commit the alleged crime. In short, the possibility of Mr. Drebber having done as you suggest is nil. Oh. And the man dancing with his own jig in there. It seems the defense's assertion was somewhat wide of the mark. Lord Van Cheeks, you will submit the contract as evidence, please. Alright, the contract between Mr. Assman and Mr. Drebber, detailing the terms on which they would profit from the kinesis experiment, is now in my record. Thank you.
It's true. If Drebber had no opportunity to switch the birdcage under the stage with the one in the Crystal Tower, he couldn't have done it. And in any case, I have no idea what his motive might have been.
There is one aspect of your argument. It still holds true, however.
Please give me the good news. Tell it to me straight. Wanted to fake his death to scam Drebber, but then Drebber found out and murdered him as revenge. There's a feeling in that.
There were 2 bird cages. The prosecution is unable to deny that. So, I'm sure you're on the right lines, Mr. Naruhodo. And I've no doubt there are other aspects of your assertion that are undeniable truths too.
Aww. Well, it would seem that the defense has no rejoinder to offer. Well, I must say, I'm a little surprised. I came here to testify about the machine I built, and instead, my reputation is defiled. But the prosecution's counter has set the record straight, I think. It's impossible that I'm the culprit.
Objection!
Objection! At the beginning of this trial, we believed that there was only 1 birdcage. Yet now we know there must have been 2. In other words, there was more to the demonstration than we realized at first. I think it's abundantly clear that the same applies to the culprit. Get to the point. The stage demonstration was constructed and set up in its entirety by you, Mr. Drebber. Therefore, it's inconceivable that you had no hand in the events that transpired. Ooh, he's got slightly angry eyebrows on. They are quite thick up there, aren't they? Wow. So, if circumstances mean it's impossible that you could have carried out the crime yourself, it points to the fact that someone else was involved. A mysterious third party. There we go, we're bringing it back. Someone else? Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, my lord. Mr. Drebber had an accomplice.
Objection!
Objection. An accomplice now? Well then, I presume you're prepared for what's to come. Now that you're accusing not only this witness, but someone else of the most serious crimes... If these accusations turn out to be false, then make no mistake. The prosecution will demand an equally serious punishment for your slander. Well, counsel, do you intend to pursue this course and formally accuse another party of involvement in this matter?
What do I do here? At the moment, this is a little more than a hunch on my part. I don't know for sure if Drebber had an accomplice or even if he really is the culprit here. One way or another, though, I have to make my position clear. As a lawyer. So what's my stance gonna be? Did Drebber have an accomplice, or not?
We can have a look at the people, luckily. Who could have reasonably done it? If we are accusing someone. Could it be the one person, like, perfectly capable of making exact replicas? Privy to the secrets technique of capturing a perfect likeness. So if we are gonna make a double, but not like a proper, like, real human body double, but just, like, make a facsimile of it, this person has supposedly a technique for capturing the perfect likeness. I think this is where my headcanon's going. Let's be fully honest here. What happens if you say there was an accomplice and there wasn't, or vice versa? I don't know. I think if I then say there's no accomplice actually, that's gonna be bad news for me. But so I think I do have to name the correct accomplice here, potential accomplice, but I've got to be correct about it. Definitely not the young lad here. He's 11? I thought it was like freaking 6. Jesus. But I'll see it. Like, somebody. No. She'd only just come over here. And she's literally doing it only for a business of, like making them to show off to people and, so maybe not, no. Drebber had an accomplice. I think he did. The defense is ready to name Mr. Drebber's accomplice. Bear me a moment, I lost my voice button again, bear with me.
Somehow the two bird cages must have been switched. Everything points to that. Yet, according to the coroner's report, that's not a possibility. According to the coroner's report... The realization hit me like Naruhodo just hit his own face. That inconsistency in self is a clue.
A fabricated freaking autopsy report. My lord? You have received a stark warning already. If you are nevertheless determined, then I must now ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. Show your answer, please. Who do you claim to have been Mr. Drebber's accomplice? Somebody fabricating a lie in the autopsy report. Who? He spent all the time in the Western meeting. He wouldn't notice. Yeah, to be fair, I had to double think on that one. Yeah, she really had, like, no claim or stake in this one. She's just making waxworks for the sake of making waxworks, I think. So yeah, but yeah. The clue in there is inconsistency in the autopsy report, and she is responsible for it. Responsible for doing autopsies. Gonna be you then, my god.
Take that!
Take that! The name of the person in question is... What's wrong, my Nipponese friend? Surely fear doesn't bide your tongue now. It's a little late for that.
Of course I'm afraid. After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely gonna make waves. A lot of waves. I could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me.
I'm I'm sure it will be all right, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thank you, Mrs. Sato.
The enemy always appears larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy.
Alright, here goes. You've kept us waiting long enough. Your answer, Council, now. The person who colluded with Mr. Drebber in order to carry out this wicked crime is Scotland Yard's coroner, Dr. Courtney Scythe. What the blazes are you talking about, Dr. Scythe? The heads of the forensic investigation team and the coroner who conducted the autopsy on the victim? Everybody's shocked. We know there were 2 bird cages, so who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators, and the area was immediately sealed off. Then everyone, police officers included, were banished to make way for the forensic investigation team. When else could the switch have occurred? It can only have been in that team's presence. It's essential that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. The defense demands that Dr. Scythe be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify. You got a nerve, lad? Standing up there, dragging the yard's name through the mud? I didn't mean to. I know the woman very well. There's no better dead room worker out there. How dare you call her a criminal? My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. Ugh. But the recklessness of your accusation aside, there is another grave problem with your argument. One which the prosecution demands you address at once. A grave problem?
Oh my word!
Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger? What? And then potentially comes from coroner and the Japanese of Shisu. Could be, yeah. Certainly, if the birdcage containing the body of the victim was exchanged for another, that cage must also have contained a body. And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone even remotely resembling the victim have been reported. Which means there was no one, dead or alive, who could have fulfilled the role of a body double for Mr. Asthma. That's true. If my argument is that there were 2 bird cages, then there must have been 1 person inside each. But I don't know if I've got an answer to this yet, have I? What can I do to reveal how this body double stunt was achieved? Is it time for Waxwork Head now? Is it time for this? I think it might be time for that one. Yeah, let me just, Oh god, how would I name someone? What would I do? Present the evidence of the professor itself? God, how do I do it? How do I do this? That's a good point to stop after this presented evidence. Yes, I'm thinking so as well. But it's just, yeah, how do I do this? Which one would be the evidence of me? I don't know. Do I have evidence of this?
Oh, it's probably that. Yeah, stolen from the exhibit. Yeah, okay, right. Okay, I think it's present evidence and present the helmet that we found. Very well. The defense will address my learned friend's concerns by presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Assman's body double. No, don't worry about it, Palthea. I was just ruminating in my own head. Ruminating out loud. I think I've got it.
Good gracious, evidence?
I do hope this isn't filibustering, Counsel. The court is expecting a name. If you think you have relevant evidence, present it now. Bring voice back so I can get my thinking voice in again. The body double and the birdcage were hiding inside the balloon that was floating above the stage, which means that any witnesses would only have seen them from 60 feet away. So who was it that appeared out of that explosion some 18 meters above the spectators? Aha! I got it! The body double inside the second birdcage was... the waxwork figure for whom this head belongs.
Take that!
Take that! We know that the victim, Mr. Assman, was in the birdcage that was situated inside the kinesis machine on stage, and therefore he couldn't have been inside the second birdcage. Instead, that contained something else. What's been described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into the crystal tower. Yes, Counsel, according to your somewhat elaborate version of events. And that body double inside the second birdcage was in fact...
It's all right, Mr. Naruhodo. You're ready for this. Just steel yourself and come up with it.
Thank you, Mrs. Sato. I needed that. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was, as unbelievable as it may seem, that thing there.
Objection!
It's slightly burnt and scuffed as well, would make sense of it being involved in an explosion of some kind, yeah. Objection. Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nipponese friend. I like the sound effects for that one. Now tell me, what are you playing at? Stand firm now, Yunosuke. This is the time to show your Japanese spirit. As the court will observe, this is a waxwork model. A model, in fact, of an infamous London murderer from 10 years ago. The Professor.
Objection!
Objection! You started by indicating the leader of the forensic investigation team as an accomplice in this crime, and now you've moved on to indicting waxworks? Yes, that's about the size of it. But why? And why this waxwork? It looks nothing like the victim. In fact, it could hardly resemble him less. What possible justification can you give? If you want to know why, ask Mr. Drebber. What? Just days before Professor Harebrain performed his public demonstration, Mr. Drebber abducted his model from Madame Tuspel's.
Did you say abducted?
And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum. The timing!
Is this true, Mr. Drebber?
At first, I couldn't see why Mr. Drebber would have stolen the waxwork and then given it back again. But now, the reason is clear. He took it so he could put it inside the second-hand birdcage as a body double for Mr. Assman.
Oh,
Objection!
Objection! Keeps coming out with them. Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? That the witness fabricated this fast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist. That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner on a public stage in front of a vast audience.
and that, to effect the deception, he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide? Objection! Objection! Wait! Yes! If you put it like that, of course it sounds implausible! My lord, I need to speak if you please. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement.
Very good. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings for the court to hear now.
Guilty.
Oh, shit.
Guilty.
No!
Guilty.
No!
Guilty.
Why?
Guilty! Why?
Kill me.
Aw, you sons of guns, you. The jury has reached a consensus. We're elaborating on this next time we play because I am well and truly reaching my limits of how long I should be awake now. But I think it was nice to have this as a slightly extended episode to celebrate the fact we have at least take off the helmet. Yeah, maybe that happens next time. Maybe we eventually get to see what's underneath the thing. Because as it has been alluded into the descriptions of the people, to spells prides in a perfect replica of people. Because yeah, I think it's going the way of we discover Professor was a long-lost relative of Asman, who has resemblance in the facial structure in some way, so we can use that. So we could use that to like convincingly say so. That's what I'm thinking it's going. But yeah, as I said, I thought this was a great idea to do a slightly extended episode to mark the occasion of this game reaching this game series reaching 10 years old today. We have gone for a while, I'm aware, and yeah, unfortunately I am reaching the limit of how long I should go for now. So
It is time for me to sign off for now.
but we are going to make sure we've done the saves. We've done all the saves. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. So when we return, what is the nature? Well, I mean, we know what the nature of the consensus is. They've just all voted for us to be guilty, and yeah, what if Asman and the Professor are the same and the bottom except for they too? Ah, yeah, could do. We will discuss all that later, I am sure. All things will come up in the next time we play this. But yeah, this is what we're gonna do. This was a more fuller length episode of today's this playthrough in Great Ace Attorney 2. As I said again, for the 10th anniversary of the Great Ace Attorney as a thing. So yeah, to say it in a Japanese way. Yeah, otanjobi omedetou daigakuten saiban. Thank you so much for the 10 years, and all of these surprises and twists and turns that I have seen so far. With all that said, it's time to sleep. Yes, Mom. Okay, fine. But no, you've been awesome watching this episode with me. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have doing it for you. Yeah, if you want to join me for some more, you know what to do. Make sure you let me know how you're enjoying the episode by leaving likes and comments down below. If you're watching this in YouTube land as well, subscribe and hit the bell too if you want to get more notifications for the future episodes that we upload to the series. And yeah, for people in Twitch land, if you weren't aware, we will have this episode ready up on the YouTube channel in about a week's time. So do make sure to check it out then, if you have missed any of this episode. But if you've been here for even just a little while, I appreciate your time. I hope I've made it better, and I hope you've enjoyed me having a wonderful go at this game again to celebrate the 10th anniversary of its series, where we will see some more and continue this train of thoughts in this trial when we come back next time to play this. Thank you so much for joining in this episode. Hope you've enjoyed the extended one today. And with all that said, stay and stay awesome. Love y'all so much. And some more next time, shall we? Until then, make sure you check out all the links in the description down below for if you want to follow me on my socials. So go ahead and, yeah, check it all out there. But all that said, thank you so much again. And until next time, have a good day. Take care of yourselves, everyone.